Presented by Pilot Food Marts. There's always one right on your way.
He's gone! Woo!
I spent my whole life chained to the wall.
Pouncing, pushing, fighting, breaks out of there!
Hungry for more, not afraid to fall.
Stretching, popped at the goal line.
Had to cut a man down to get where I am.
The Admirals take over one more time.
Someone had to tumble, and someone had to stand. I'm looking for you.
Farragut football on I-105
Nothing's gonna stop me now.
is brought to you by Shop Farragut, Mike Dyer Agency, Nationwide Insurance, Rick Terry Jewelry Design, Ted Russell Nissan, Brickhouse Collectibles, Valerie Thompson Remax Preferred Properties, Matlock Tire, Denton Financial Group, VG's Bakery. And now, here's Eric Gerhardt.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to another Farragut Football Friday night on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 FM, online at WFIV.com, and paired with BDC Productions video stream with links provided at FarragutFootball.com as the Admirals open the 2020 playoffs, experiencing a little deja vu all over again. For the second straight year, Farragut kicks off the playoffs against the same opponent, the Bears of Bradley Central, which it kicked off its regular season. Last year, the Admirals won both matchups, rallying to take the season opener 37-30 and running away with the first-round rematch 56-21. This year, Farragut again began the season with a come-from-behind victory over Bradley, winning 25-21, and so the Admirals are indeed hoping the sense of deja vu continues as the teams square off yet again in tonight's opening round at Farragut's Bill Clabo Field. The Admirals concluded a 7-3 regular season last Friday, defeating Jefferson County on the road 42-14 to claim Region 1 6A's number 2 seed. Bradley, meanwhile, fell at home to McMinn County in a battle for Region 2's second spot, the Cherokees prevailing 41-25 as the Bears dropped to the number 3 seed, wrapping up a 7-3 regular season. So a pair of 7-3 squads, which played a nip-and-tuck game in Week 1, meet for the second straight year to open the playoffs. Undoubtedly one of the most intriguing first-round matchups to be found anywhere across the Volunteer State. It's the Farragut Admirals hosting the Bradley Central Bears. Coming up after a break for our sponsors, we'll return with a look back on that Week 1 contest between Farragut and Bradley. We'll also recap last week's regular season finales for both teams and run down all of tonight's opening round matchups across East Tennessee. That's just ahead when the Farragut Football pregame show continues on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 FM, online at WFIV.com, and accompanying BDC Productions video stream with links provided on the live game broadcast page at FarragutFootball.com.
At your nearby Pilot Food Mart, there's a refreshing drink special waiting for you, and it's only 99 cents. Any size fountain drink, icy, or coffee is right inside, and just 99 cents every day. With your Pilot My Rewards card, get 3 cents off every gallon of gas. And find additional specials inside the store. Drink specials, gas savings, regular specials. Get your Pilot My Rewards card today. Pilot, we're right on your way.
Looking for a fast quote? How about the right quote? We here at the Mike Dyer Agency can deliver both to help you with your insurance needs. Call us today at 865-966-2111 to learn more, or visit our website at MikeDyerInsuranceAgency.com. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Welcome back to the Farragut Football pregame show on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 FM, online at WFIV.com, and paired with BDC Productions video stream with links provided at both WFIV.com and the live game broadcast page at FarragutFootball.com as the Admirals open the playoffs for a second consecutive season hosting Bradley Central. Like last year's first round, when Farragut scored 28 first-quarter points en route to a 42-7 halftime lead and eventual 56-21 victory, tonight's game is a rematch of the regular season curtain raiser. The Admirals won both contests in 2019 and are looking to duplicate that feat tonight, having won 11 weeks ago 25-21. It's remarkable to think back on that opening night and consider what the odds were at the time that both teams would end up playing their full regular season schedules and have the chance to square off again in the playoffs. After a spring and summer filled with uncertainty, the Admirals and Bears were especially eager to get the 2020 campaign underway. Mother Nature, though, proved uncooperative. At the outset, the kickoff pushed back a quarter hour due to lightning in the area. Once play began, it was short-lived, with the teams again being sent off less than 3 minutes into the first quarter because of continuing electrical activity. After back-to-back delays, 3 total, the unsettled weather finally cleared out, allowing the teams to resume play uninterrupted. The Admiral defense first got a key stop after the Bears took over their initial possession at the Farragut 27. Pushed back from that point all the way to the Bradley 49, a hold against Farragut defensive tackle Joe Main accounting for much of that lost yardage, the Admiral defense answered the early challenge, forcing a 3-and-out. The offense followed suit with a 3-play, 81-yard drive. Senior Eli Purcell gaining 5 yards and then 69 before fellow senior Deion Williams scooted into the end zone from 7 yards out. Simeon Sharp's extra point made it 7-0 with 6:44 to go in the opening quarter. Bradley came back, returning a short kickoff to the Farragut 48 and tying the game at 7 with a perfectly thrown 33-yard touchdown strike from Javen Burke to his brother Javon Burke. Early in the second quarter, after a 36-yard completion from Dawson Moore to Matt White, Farragut capped a 51-yard drive with a 3-yard touchdown run by Purcell, giving the Admirals a 14-7 edge. Farragut's next possession ended in a punt, a beautifully executed 55-yarder off the toe of senior Brady Hodges, which was downed a foot shy of the Bears' goal line. On the verge of getting its 4th stop in 5 Bradley possessions, the Admiral defense could not corral Javen Burke in the end zone, the speedy Bradley quarterback escaping pressure and scrambling for a 35-yard gain. While Burke would not finish the possession, having injured his shoulder at some point, perhaps on a textbook open field tackle by Bridges Coffey, the Bears would finish a 99-yard drive with backup quarterback Aiden McCleary carrying for a 5-yard touchdown to tie the game at 14 with 3.5 minutes remaining in the half. The Admirals would then march from their 13 to the Bradley 13 before back-to-back negative yardage plays pushed them back to the 26. A 4th down pass to Mason Collins, which the junior receiver high-pointed inside the 3-yard line, resulted in a bang-bang play, a tough call for the officials who ruled incomplete despite Collins' protest that he had secured the catch and in the same motion extended the ball across the goal line. Regardless of the ruling, it was a tremendous effort by Collins, who a few plays earlier had hauled in a 39-yard reception from Moore. So with the failed red zone opportunity, Farragut and Bradley ended the half still tied at 14. To begin the third quarter, on Bradley's first play from scrimmage, Farragut senior defensive end Trey Nesbitt stripped McCleary, the Bear quarterback, and to boot, recovered the fumble he had created. Set up at the Bradley 21, the Admiral offense would end up settling for a 21-yard field goal by Simeon Sharp and a 17-14 lead. The Bears responded with a 64-yard drive, freshman running back Jackson Wilson finishing it off with a 1-yard touchdown, giving Bradley its first lead of the night, 21-17, with 4.5 minutes remaining in the third. But for the rest of the game, the Bears would struggle mightily to generate any offense against the Farragut D. Early in the fourth quarter, under duress from Admiral defensive end Dawson Brown, McCleary was flagged for intentional grounding while scrambling in the end zone, resulting in a safety that cut Bradley's lead in half at 21-19. The ensuing free kick was fumbled away by the Admirals, but after giving up a pair of first downs, the defense again stiffened, and the Bears opted to punt Farragut deep, facing 4th and 19 from the Admiral 34. Bradley's punt carried out of bounds at the Farragut 9, where the Admirals took over with 8:31 to play. The offense, which to that point had only 1 first down in the second half, promptly drove 91 yards in 12 plays, a 3-minute 40-second possession that culminated with a 7-yard touchdown run by Dion Williams. The Admirals' 2-point conversion try failed, but with 4:51 remaining, Farragut was back in front 25-21. The defense again did its job, denying Bradley a first down with a 3rd down sack by Dylan Cozy. Cozy then pressured a Bradley punt, which only fluttered 12 yards. Starting at the Bear 24-yard line, the Farragut offense ran out the clock, going into victory formation at the Bradley 1. The win was Farragut's 6th straight in a season opener. As for these teams' most recent outings, looking first at Bradley Central, which last week hosted McMinn County in a battle to decide Region 2's number 2 seed, the Bears opened the game with an 8-play, 97-yard drive, grabbing a 7-0 lead on a 39-yard touchdown pass from Aiden McCleary to running back Javon Burke. McMinn County, looking to answer, sent an early message, converting a 4th and 3 from its own 37-yard line on a 7-yard run by Jalen Hunt. 2 plays later, Hunt tied the game at 7 with a 42-yard touchdown scamper. Bradley's defense bowed its neck on McMinn's second possession, getting a red zone stop after the Cherokees had taken over at the Bears' 33-yard line. Backed up after the defensive stop, Bradley's offense failed to pick up a first down and punted the ball back to McMinn County, which inexplicably tried to pick up the pigskin as it was rolling to a stop surrounded by the Bears' punt cover team. Predictably, the ball was mishandled and Bradley recovered at the McMinn 38. The Bears would cash in the Cherokee mistake, scoring on a 30-yard run by quarterback Aiden McCleary to take a 14-7 lead. McMinn County would bounce back, pulling to within 14-13 on a 32-yard touchdown burst by Hunt. The Bears would get an opportunity late in the first half when McMinn County's punter, scrambling after a high snap, came up well short of a first down at the Cherokee 31-yard line, but Bradley was unable to capitalize before the first half expired. McMinn County drew first blood in the second half, scoring on the opening possession on a 40-yard touchdown dash by Hunt, the Cherokees claiming a 20-14 lead. Bradley then on 4th and 1 from its 47 fumbled the snap, leading quickly to another Hunt touchdown jaunt, this one covering 26 yards as the Cherokees' advantage grew to 27-14. Bradley responded with a 36-yard field goal from sophomore Grant Haney, but on the first play of the ensuing possession, Hunt was once more off to the races with his 5th touchdown of the night, a 63-yarder, putting McMinn County up 34-17. The Cherokees would put the game away following a missed 27-yard field goal try by the Bears, capping an 80-yard drive with a 9-yard touchdown run by quarterback Jaden Miller. Bradley, though, would continue to battle to the end, getting the night's final tally on a 16-yard touchdown run by freshman Jackson Wilson, followed by a 2-point conversion pass from McCleary to Cannon Hall, producing the final score of McMinn County 41, Bradley Central 25. As a result, the Cherokees finished second in Region 2 and will host tonight, while the Bears, as the 3 seed, take to the road, traveling for the second year in a row here to Farragut, where the Admirals enter the night, like Bradley, at 7-3 on the season, coming off a 42-14 win at Jefferson County. Farragut finishing 5-1 in region play, earning Region 1's number 2 seed. The Admirals made it look easy at the outset last Friday, jumping out to a 21-0 lead just 6 minutes 45 seconds into the game. Farragut capped an 82-yard opening drive with a 12-yard touchdown run by Matt White lined up in the Wildcat. The Admirals then struck with a 64-yard touchdown run by Schumann Shea on their second possession, and Dion Williams bullied his way into the end zone from 4 yards out to punctuate Farragut's third scoring drive. But from there, the offensive fireworks sputtered to a halt, the teams combining for 4 turnovers on their next 5 possessions. Farragut would get 3 of the takeaways as junior cornerback Mason Collins snared a pair of interceptions, and senior defensive end Dawson Brown, active in Jefferson County's offensive backfield, was in perfect position to scoop up a fumbled toss on an intended reverse pass by the Patriots. Both Collins' first interception and Brown's fumble recovery thwarted Jefferson County red zone trips. Following Brown's recovery, Farragut moved into position to have Reese Keeney try a last-second 31-yard field goal, but the officiating crew apparently failed to recognize the Farragut coaching staff's call for timeout and allowed the first half clock to expire. To open the second half, the teams exchanged 4 successive punts before Farragut got on the board with its first defensive touchdown of the season, a 43-yard pick six by senior cornerback Logan Foodie. After the Admiral defense then forced another 3-and-out, the offense rediscovered its rhythm, Dawson Moore hooking up with his tight end Jake Wallace for a 9-yard touchdown, topping off a 55-yard drive and staking Farragut to a 35-0 lead early in the fourth quarter. Jefferson County would counter against the Admiral reserves with a 46-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 10 from Connor Kaywood to Cade Parker. But Farragut, having earlier gotten its first defensive touchdown of the season, would add its first special teams touchdown on the subsequent kickoff as Mason Collins took the return 89 yards to home port, Simeon Sharp's extra point, giving the Admirals a 42-7 advantage. The Patriots would conclude the night's scoring with a 3-yard touchdown run by Aiden Houston. Again, the final was Farragut 42, Jefferson County 14. The only other Region 1 6A matchup last week featured Science Hill traveling to Bearden. The Hilltoppers with the opportunity to be the region's top seed in the playoffs with a victory, but for the second straight year stumbled versus the Bulldogs as Bearden won in surprisingly comfortable fashion 27-7, meaning the Bulldogs claimed the number 3 seed while Science Hill fell all the way to number 4. The resulting Class 6A first-round playoff matchups are as follows. In addition to our matchup with Farragut hosting Bradley Central, Science Hill was slated to travel to Maryville, but then news came yesterday out of Johnson City that the Toppers, due to continuing COVID concerns and contact tracing, would not be able to make the trip, so Maryville moves on to the second round and awaits the winner of Farragut versus Bradley. Also tonight, Bearden calls on McMinn County, and Dobbins-Bennett entertains Cleveland, which rallied late last week to beat Ottawa, claiming Region 2's fourth and final spot. The state's other Class 6A contests feature Rossview at Oakland, Mount Juliet welcomes Warren County, Wilson Central visits Riverdale, Hendersonville hosts Blackman, Smyrna entertains Franklin, Ravenwood gets a bye as Stewart's Creek is sidelined with COVID. Independence calls on Laverne, and Brentwood hosts Cane Ridge. Meanwhile, in Shelby County, Region 7's Bartlett, Houston, Collierville, and Arlington all get byes as, of course, their first-round opponents from Region 8, the Memphis School District, sat out this season. Looking at the other classifications and games involving East Tennessee teams, in Class 1A, Midway calls on Cloudland, Oliver Springs hosts Jellicoe, Greenback travels to Unaka, Coalfield welcomes Hancock County, South Pittsburgh entertains Joe Burns, Sale Creek visits Monterey, Copper Basin hosts Clay County, and Whitwell travels to Gordonsville. In Class 2A, South Green entertains Cumberland Gap, Rockwood hosts Happy Valley, Oneida makes the 3+ hour trip to Hampton, Meigs County gets a bye as Cosby has COVID issues, Bledsoe County plays host to Cascade, Tyner travels to Trousdale County, Marion County welcomes Westmoreland, and Tellico Plains is at Watertown. In Class 3A, Pigeon Forge calls on Claiborne, Gatlinburg-Pittman entertains Unicoi County, Kingston makes the trip to Chuckydoke, Alcoa hosts Johnson County, Red Bank entertains Grundy County, Brainerd visits Smith County, Loudon welcomes York Institute, and Signal Mountain travels to Upperman. In Class 4A, Elizabethton entertains East Ridge, East Hamilton hosts Sullivan South, Greenville gets a pass to the second round as Howard bows out due to COVID, Anderson County welcomes Granger. Also,
1,
Stone
2, 1,
Memorial
2.
is at Tullahoma.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In Class 5A, Sevier County makes the trip to David Crockett. South Doyle hosts Daniel Boone. Halls travels to Tennessee High. Central entertains Morristown East. West welcomes Lenoir City. Powell visits Walker Valley. Oak Ridge plays host to Soddy Daisy. And Fulton is at Ray County. Finally, in Division 2, Catholic entertains Ensworth, Christian Academy welcomes Boyd Buchanan, Grace Christian hosts Chattanooga Christian, and Webb travels to Good Pasture. Always an exciting time of the year as the playoffs get underway. Hopefully everyone relishes the opportunity a little more in 2020 as a season fraught with uncertainty arrives at its postseason. Here at Farragut, it's the Admirals and Bradley Central Bears, familiar foes looking to survive and advance. Coming up a little later in our Farragut football pregame show, I'll be joined by the head coach of the Admirals, Eddie Courtney. But up next, we'll take a look at tonight's anticipated starters for both the Admirals and Bears. It's a Farragut Football Friday Night Playoff Edition on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 FM, online at WFIV.com, and paired with BDC Productions video stream with links at both WFIV.com and the live game broadcast page at FarragutFootball.com.
Brickhouse Collectibles Hobby Shop is your headquarters for your favorite Lego sets, new and old, comic books, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, sports cards, games, statues, and whatever cool things we can find for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Brickhouse Collectibles. We're located at 163 West End Avenue in Farragut. Open 7 days a week. Discover a world of fun that awaits you at Brickhouse Collectibles. Call today 865-392-1092 or email us at info@brickhousecollectibles.com.
Hi, this is Dave from VG's Bakery. Circumstances have forced us to change the way we do business, but nothing will change the pride and love we have for baking the finest baked goods. Go to vgsbakery.com to check out our curbside menu we offer Tuesday through Friday weekly. And our cake department is ready to create your beautiful and delicious special occasion cakes. Pastries, cookies, bread, and desserts, all made by hands that care. VG's Bakery, handcrafted baked goods. Oh yeah.
Every night is Friday night without you.
Welcome back into our Farragut football pregame show from the press box atop Eddie Courtney Stadium down on Bill Claybo Field. I believe what's happening right now is Coach David Hawkins is being honored as the Character Assistant Coach of the Year. And so an outstanding honor for Coach David Hawkins a couple of years ago when they first initiated these coaching recognitions. Coach Courtney was the head coach of the year and couldn't make a better selection for Assistant Character Coach of the Year than Coach David Hawkins, who been here at Farragut for a number of years now, and just about as humble a guy as you'll ever meet. You can almost feel his comfort level, and it's not real high, being recognized right now down in midfield. But congratulations to Coach Hawkins on a well-deserved recognition. Let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's first-round playoff matchup between a pair of 7-3 teams, Farragut and Bradley Central. The Admirals having won 11 weeks ago here at Bill Claybo Field, 25-21. Farragut the number 2 seed, Bradley the number 3 seed out of Region 2. It appears that these teams are going to be region cohorts starting next year, but for the time being occupying different regions and therefore squaring off against one another in the first round for the second year in a row. For Farragut offensively, up front at left tackle, number 74, Carter Sherman. At left guard, number 70, Aiden Smith. The center, number 52, Howie Sintel. At right guard, number 51, Dennis Longmire. And right tackle, number 77, Wilson Ventura. Farragut's offensive line averaging 5'11", 231 pounds. Tight end, number 18, Jake Wallace, 205-pound senior. At wideout, number 15, Trace Corum. He's a junior. Also, number 7, Max DeVault, a senior. And in the slot, number 20, Matt White, 6 foot, 185-pound senior. He's Farragut's leading receiver, 49 catches, 851 yards. That's 17.4 yards per reception, a long of 68, and 10 receiving touchdowns this year for Matt, who also had his first rushing touchdown last week against Jefferson County, averaging 6.4 yards per carry on 27 attempts this year, a long of 28. We will, I would suspect, also see Mason Collins in the receiver rotation for Farragut tonight, as well as Zach Kiesling when Farragut has 2 slot players on the field. And Kiesling, 14 catches on the year, averaging 14.3. He's got a couple of touchdowns. Running backs will be number 9, Dion Williams, 205-pound senior. His highest rushing output of the season came in the season opener against Bradley Central with 114 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He leads Farragut with 7 rushing touchdowns, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. Also at running back, number 38, Schumann Shih, 175-pound junior, coming off a 10-carry, 111-yard performance against Jefferson County, which included a touchdown, his 3rd of the year. Schumann averaging 6.6 yards per carry. Also has 1 reception, good for 17. And we expect Sam Moses will be in the running back rotation as well. Last week against Jefferson County, 3 carries for 38 yards, averaging 6.1 per carry on the year. Farragut's place kicker to start will likely be Reese Keeney. We will probably see Simeon Sharp as well. The holder, Brady Hodges. The long snapper, Kanan Jackson. For Bradley defensively up front at end, kind of the difference maker in the trenches for the Bears is number 5, C.J. Hardy, 220-pound senior. He had 2.5 tackles for loss last week against McMinn County, including a sack. Nose guard, number 76, Nadavian Richards, 250-pound junior. Defensive end, number 9, Isaiah Arnold, 255-pound junior. He's got a couple of fumble recoveries on the year. Those 3 down linemen average 5'11", 242. They'll also walk up on the line, the outside linebacker. They refer to him as the Rover, number 25, Knox Watson. He's a sophomore. Outside linebacker on the other side, the Bandit, as Bradley calls it, is number 1, Gage Anderson. 1 pick on the year. It was a pick 6. He's a 205-pound sophomore. The Will linebacker, number 16, Camden Creighton's the leading tackler for these Bears, 185-pound senior. The middle linebacker, Kens Hooper, wears number 38. He's a 200-pound senior. The corners are number 7, Finn Mertens, sophomore. Cornerback number 15, Trent Roberts, a senior. He has 1 interception on the year. The safeties, number 23, Tito Williams, a freshman, and number 8, Marcus Gorey Jr., a freshman. He has 2 interceptions and a recovery. The recovery came against Farragut as the Admirals coughed up a free kick. So that's something certainly to keep an eye on. We'll be talking with Brett Clendenin and Tyler Carr here in a few minutes about that. But 3 of the 4 secondary players for this Bradley defense, 2 freshmen and a sophomore at cornerback, but the safeties are freshmen. So we'll see if maybe Farragut will be able to exploit that tonight. Taking a look at the other side of the ball for Bradley offensively at left tackle, number 60, Gabe Campbell. He's a junior. Number 72, Caden Moore, is the left guard. He's a senior. Center, number 67, Alex Dayton, is a junior. Right guard, number 55, Bennett Burris, is a senior. Right tackle, number 51, Brody Morgan, is a sophomore. Bradley's offensive line averages 6 foot 252. Tight end is Carter Howard, a 225-pound junior. He's 6 foot 3. Wideouts, number 17, Braden Clark, a senior. Also number 2, Cannon Hall, a senior. He had 4 catches against Farragut in the earlier matchup for 51 yards. Against McMinn County, 12 receptions for 104 yards last Friday. He is far and away Bradley's leading receiver, 64 catches on the year, 919 yards, 14.4 per reception, along of 51 and 7 receiving touchdowns. The running back will be number 3, Javon Burke, approximately 1,500 yards rushing on the year, averaging 8 yards per carry, along of 69. He's got 10 rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns, averaging 12.9 yards per reception, 24 catches on the year, including a touchdown last week against McMinn County that covered 30-plus yards. Jackson Wilson will spell him in the offensive backfield. He has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season. Wilson, a good-sized freshman, 6'1", 195. He had a touchdown against Farragut in the earlier meeting, carrying 10 times for 34 yards. Place kicker, Grant Haney. Holder, Taylor Duggan. Long snappers, a bit of a mystery for Bradley. For Farragut defensively, first Farragut's punter, Brady Hodges, senior. Long snapper again for the punts, as he is with the place kicks, Kanan Jackson. For Farragut defensively, at end, number 50, Bryce Fontenot, a sophomore. Defensive tackle, number 45, Joe Main, the senior. Also, defensive tackle, number 75, Corey Walker, a junior. Defensive end, number 61, Dawson Brown, a senior. Farragut's D-line, averaging 6 foot 226. The linebackers are going to give it a go. Number 31, Carter Nussbaum, back with that shoulder injury. They think they've got a brace for him, and hopefully Carter will be able to play deep into the game. 58 hits on the year, 5 tackles for loss and a forced fumble. Had 9 hits, including 2 tackles for loss against the Bears in the season opener. It'll be number 8, Eli Purcell, back out there giving that ankle a try. He leads Farragut, of course, with 79 hits, 11 tackles for loss, has a sack, a forced fumble, pass broken up, and Eli so integral to this Farragut defense. Going to give it a good run. Martin Aranda, Brock Hodges have done a nice job filling in the last couple of weeks for both of those injured linebackers, as has Dylan Cozy. Cozy tonight will get the start at the weak safety, as Griffin Mashburn in a car accident this week. And so Griffin would have been starting there for the second consecutive week, but he's out. And so, again, Dylan Cozy fills in there. It'll be Matt White at free safety tonight. Jackson Fisher may spell him from time to time. Strong safety, as you would expect, at Admiral position. Number 2, the senior Camden Kuhn, second on the team with 65 hits, 10 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 3 passes broken up, forced fumble, interception. Outstanding season for the senior Kuhn. The corners, Logan Foodie, who had himself a pick 6 last week against Jefferson County, his second interception of the year. He's a senior. And opposite him at the other corner spot, number 17, Mason Collins. He had 2 interceptions last week, returned to kickoff for a touchdown. He leads the Admirals with 6 interceptions on the season. So that's a look at your starters, and we welcome in Brett Clendenin and Tyler Carr. And, guys, it feels like to me this is a Bradley defense that the Admirals ought to be able to move the ball against, and will need to move the ball because I have a feeling Bradley's going to get theirs tonight. And I think Farragut probably needs to get in that 28 to 30-point range tonight. And I think the Admirals certainly capable of that. And, again, you go back and you look at how much the Admirals' passing game has improved over the course of the season. And for Bradley to have a sophomore cornerback in Mertens and a couple of freshman safeties, you would hope that bodes well for the passing attack.
Yeah, week 1 you won 25-21. We're a different team than we were in week 1, and as they are. And we've got some guys out, no doubt about it. Talking to a few Farragut coaches, sounds like the Bears have got some guys out as well. So you've got a lot of moving parts, but you got 2 different teams. You're going to have to score points to win this game. We've had luck against these guys in a lot of tight battles through the last few years, but need to start well early.
And guys, you got to remember how important it is right now. It is the survival land. You have to win to advance. And so Admirals have had a lot of players out. There's been a lot of things going on with COVID-19, freak injuries, just being banged up after playing 11 weeks straight of football. Tonight, you've got to lay it on the line. And an animal that's wounded is normally the most dangerous, and the Admirals certainly do have some of their wounds, but they're going to be able to go out and attack tonight.
Tyler, we were talking earlier before we went on the air about the 3-man front and the challenge that poses for Howie Sintel at center, making just his second career start. Thought he played pretty well against Jefferson County last week, but maybe a little different animal here with a 3-man front.
Yeah, you got guys coming from different places. Obviously, the first thing he's got to do before anything is get the snap. I thought his snaps were pretty good last week, but it's a tough spot for a sophomore, especially in a first round of the playoff game. Obviously, guys coming from different ways, but I'm sure he's been coached up well, and he's just got to do what he can control.
The great thing about a 3-man front, you don't have to worry about knowing your blocking responsibilities. It's pretty much cut and dry. There's a guy in front of you, you pick him up. Now, it's going to be a little bit different. He doesn't have a 6'6", 330 guy lining up in the A-gap, so it's going to be a little bit more of a manageable matchup. But I look at what Coach Courtney calls. Is he going to do those outside zone plays? Is he going to try to hit the corners? Try to let this offense use their athletes the best way possible, just like he did last week against Jefferson County, and that could be a huge matchup because Coach Courtney knows this is where I've got a little bit of a deficiency. I can now go away from it and play to the weaknesses of the Bears defense.
You look over the course of the season, guys, and one of Farragut's higher rushing outputs was against Bradley. And so certainly I would think that would bode well for them if they can duplicate that tonight. But Deion Williams had over 100 yards. Yeah. The Bears did not even see Schumann Shea. He wasn't on the field that night. And so you kind of hope that Farragut, with the balance and the way the offense has matured, again, if it turns out to be a scoring match tonight, that Farragut can outscore them.
Well, we talked about it last week, a couple weeks ago. I mean, Dawson is just reacting now. He's not thinking like he was in week 1. Deion had a big game in week 1. I think you're going to see more Schumann than anybody tonight. But yeah, you got to stay balanced. Farragut's at its best when it is balanced. You're going to have to score points. And then the playmakers are there as well. It's not just Matt White. Other guys have stepped up. So you've got a more balanced attack. So hopefully we can show the Bears we are a much better offense.
And you talk about players they've not seen yet. Trace Corum had not seen the field much against them in week 1. And Trace is, I think, his stats are about 1 out of 3 catches go for a touchdown?
Yeah.
Actually, more than half. He's got 9 catches, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, Moore has thrown 26 touchdowns, guys. The only Admiral in school history to throw more in a single season was Adam Fulton in that magical 2016 season when he had 40-plus. So Moore is in some exclusive company there, and that offense, again, has grown throughout the course of the season. We hope to see them hitting on all cylinders tonight. Defensively, this time of year, sometimes you'll play guys both ways.
Yeah.
You got to get your best players on the field. And so despite all of these injuries, in a way, it's kind of forcing Farragut to do what they might do anyhow, Matt White at free safety, and get Cozy on the field with Nussbaum and Purcell, as they're going to have Cozy lined up at that weak safety position.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. We talked about Eli saying, well, let's get the running back some run because I've got to focus on defense in the playoffs. But we knew Matt White playing both ways was a possibility. Playoffs, win or go home, we're going to need him, so you're going to see him there. Dylan, first time there at the other safety spot. Will be interesting, but there is no tomorrow, so sometimes guys have got to do it.
And you look at it, I don't think that endurance is going to be a problem for Matt White. It's a nice, chilly night out here. The lights are on. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Matt's going to be able to stay in this game and play the whole time. And Matt is the type of player that you want to see him on the field. If there's 125 plays ran on the field tonight, you want him on the field for about 120 of them because he is that kind of difference maker that can change a game in the snap of a finger.
Absolutely. Well, appreciate it, guys. There's some thoughts from Tyler and from Brett. And we'll get some thoughts from Coach Eddie Courtney on the other side. Farragut Football pregame show continues after this. You're listening to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 WFIV.
Hey, folks, Jordan,
just a 30 here, please. Just a 30 and go straight to the coach's interview.
What if I owe way more on my trade than it's worth?
No problem. At Ted Russell Nissan, when you make a deal with us, we'll pay your trade-in off no matter what you owe.
Can I buy with no money down?
Most Ted Russell Nissan customers can buy a new Nissan with no money down by using the factory rebate as a down payment.
Can I get finance with a low credit score?
Yes, at Ted Russell Nissan, we have 4 certified finance managers to get that new Nissan financed, even if you've had a divorce, bankruptcy, foreclosure, repo, or just bad luck. So come see us today, Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Welcome back to the Farragut Football pregame show on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 FM, online at WFIV.com, and paired with BDC Productions video stream, linked on the live game broadcast page at FarragutFootball.com, as the Admirals open the playoffs for the second straight year, hosting the Bears of Bradley Central. Both teams concluded their regular seasons at 7-3. Farragut winning at Jefferson County last Friday, 42-14 to wrap up Region 1's number 2 seed, while Bradley Central fell at home to McMinn County 41-25, and as a result landed in Region 2's number 3 spot. I'm pleased to be joined at this time by Farragut head coach Eddie Courtney. And, Coach, a fast start is always appreciated, but especially when the opponent is holding senior night and riding that early emotion, as Jefferson County was last week. Farragut was very crisp at the outset, jumping to a 21-0 lead just about, 6 minutes into the game, Coach?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we preached all week long that we had to start fast. We really did, because they had an open date, and we knew it was going to be their last game for them, and so they've come out with a lot of emotion. The only way you take that emotion away is make some plays to take it out of them. So our kids did a great job executing the game plan, both on offense and defense, in that first quarter. Really did.
A season-high 4 takeaways by the Farragut defense, and for the third game in a row, the secondary registered 3 interceptions. Through the first 7 games, Farragut defensive backs had just 2 interceptions. But, Coach, over the last 3 weeks, that number has mushroomed to 11.
Well, we preached it. You know, Eric, we started preaching this serious about 4 weeks ago about the secondary and linebackers, about their eye discipline. That's just coach talk, but it's true. About where your eyes are before the ball snap and where your eyes go after the ball snap. And we stressed it so much all day long in practice, both in individual, team, group times. And I think it's really helped us pay off that we've made those plays, and that's what we want to do.
Junior cornerback Mason Collins has really come on with 5 of his 6 interceptions in recent weeks. 2 of those picks last Friday versus Jefferson County, plus Farragut's first special team score of the season with an 89-yard kickoff return. But Collins, Coach, a young man who looks very comfortable, very confident out there, and it just seems like he's just playing fast and kind of letting his ability take over.
You're right, Eric. The confidence has come there. We've always known, as far as athletic ability, and a kid that studies on both sides of the ball, the game plan. And we knew it was a big game for him going back to Jefferson County. That's where his grandparents are from, his parents and uncles and aunts and all that. So he wanted to go and really play well up there. Not that he doesn't every week, but he really was something kind of special for him.
Well, looking at tonight's opponent, Bradley Central, its offense was forced to change somewhat when senior quarterback Javen Burke suffered a season-ending shoulder injury versus Farragut in the opener. But Aiden McCleary has stepped in, Coach, and done a good job directing their attack.
He really has. Now he's got 10 games under his belt, and so he's 9 games rather, and he's done a good job executing their offense. The only thing that's changed is he doesn't scramble as much, but he can throw the football, and he's gotten better in accuracy as the season went on. But it goes back to Javon Burke, number 3, brother, and so it goes back to he and Cannon Hall. Those 2 guys are the guys who now picked up the slack there in the offense.
You mentioned those 2 guys, Coach, and they'll move them around quite a bit, different positions on the field. How concerning is it that they're likely to try to get Cannon Hall as well as Javon Burke in the slot, maybe looking to get a matchup with Farragut's pretty green safeties?
Well, we've made attention to that all week in practice about where they line up. They're kind of special there, but don't forget your assignment. If they're not on your side of the ball, they can still run a reverse. They can still throw back. They can do a lot of different things, but you still got to play assignment football. But it's just a little extra alert if they're the guy lined up and you're responsible.
Defensively, it looks like Bradley is largely the same as it was back in week 1 personnel-wise. Definitely, it's been the more inconsistent side of the ball for the Bears this season. What do you see, Coach, as their strong suits on defense as well as the areas where they've been kind of up and down?
Well, they're a 3 or a 4-man front. They'll bring a linebacker up, put him on the edge, and convert to a 4-man front. They change it up a lot. But the biggest thing we know is they're very aggressive, very nosy up front. They play close to the line of scrimmage. They stay in the box. They attack a lot. So they've given up some plays just on some misdirection stuff and some things over the top and some quick hitters up inside. But they're a very good football team. They're very aggressive, and we got to do some things to take them out of their comfort zone doing that.
Special teams-wise, Farragut looks to have a decided advantage with its kickers, its specialists, but Bradley isn't lacking for athletes. We already mentioned a couple of them, so it places a premium on protection and coverage units.
That's true, and we've worked all week this week and talked about and stressed the fact that in the playoffs you got to be ready on any kind of things in the special teams, whether it's a throwback pass on a kickoff return or whether it's a reverse or whether it's an onside kick or if it's a pooch punt, whatever. So we've worked on just being alert and just, again, being very smart in the kicking game.
So Farragut and Bradley Central very familiar with one another, this being their 6th meeting in 4 seasons. What do you see, Coach, as the keys to an Admiral victory, and what are the points you've primarily stressed to the team this week in preparation for tonight?
Well, last Sunday we started talking about, first of all, we're in the playoffs, but the only thing that matters is the game at hand that we play each week when it's game. And for them, Bradley, we got to come in and do these things. It's a 48-minute game, especially in the playoffs. You got to start fast. You got to finish in the 4th quarter. And all that's about effort. We've talked about being good in all 3 phases. The offense has got to do their part of the execution. Special teams we just talked about a minute ago. We've got to be sound in what we're doing. And certainly on defense, we've got to tackle well. We've got to play assignment football. And the last thing is being physical in everything we do.
Coach, thank you, and I wish the Admirals the best tonight.
Eric, thank you very much.
That's Farragut head coach Eddie Courtney sharing his thoughts in advance of tonight's first-round playoff contest versus Bradley Central at the Admirals' Bill Clabo Field. Just ahead, we'll have the coin toss and opening kickoff. It's a Farragut Football Friday night on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 FM, online at WFIV.com, and accompanying Brandon Campbell's video stream with links provided at both WFIV.com and the live game broadcast page at FarragutFootball.com.
Shop Farragut
30 seconds here, and we'll come live.
Admiral Sports Nation much success and happiness this exciting season, and reminds you to shop Farragut all year long. Your Farragut retailers, restaurants, and service providers have worked hard to make your shopping easy and a bargain. Follow Shop Farragut on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get all of the deals and discounts you need.
105.3 WFIV, Loudon, Farragut, Lenore City.
Every night, it's Friday night without you.
Welcome back into our Farragut Football Friday night as the captains head out to midfield. The Star here at Bill Clabo Field for the coin toss, and representing Bradley Central tonight, it'll be that outstanding defensive end, C.J. Hardy, and representing Farragut is senior strong safety Camden Kuhn.
Tennessee football.
We're listening in. Tyler Carr down there with our mic.
You call it state of Tennessee or football?
Bradley will call.
Call football. So if I drop it now, I'm going to do it again, okay? And it's a state of Tennessee. You won the toss.
I'm going to defer.
You want to defer the second half.
So Camden Kuhn representing Farragut says they defer, and so Bradley will get the ball to start our ball game. So Farragut wins the toss, and they defer to the second half. So, again, thanks to Tyler being down there. And the other game captains tonight for Farragut, offensive lineman Wilson Ventura, defensive lineman Corey Walker, punter Brady Hodges, and, again, representing that quartet was Camden Kuhn. Before we get started, I just want to say prayers and condolences to the Horn family as Brooke Douglas Horn passed on October 25th at the age of 48. Brooke was a lifelong resident of Farragut, a graduate of Farragut High School, class of 1990, and the University of Tennessee. And we ask that you, too, remember the Horn family during this difficult time. Brooke's wife, Katrina, his children, Palmer Grace, Baylor Brooke, and Julia. Also Brooke's parents, Doug and Brenda Horn, his sister Susan, brother-in-law Jay Beeler, grandmother Edith Presley, mother-in-law Janice Logan, and dear friend Jim Hickman. Again, our deepest sympathies to the Horn family. As always in such situations, words fail, God does not. And we know that Brooke was a member of Cedar Springs Presbyterian Church and that his family is one of strong faith. So we hope and pray that their faith will help them through this time of loss and grief. God bless and keep the Horns, and hopefully 1 Thessalonians 4:13 rings true for them. So we're just about set for football. Farragut and Bradley Central for the second year in a row. Hope you'll be with us all night long from our Valerie Thompson Remax opening kickoff coming up here in seconds, to our VG's Bakery halftime report, to our Pilot Rewards postgame show, at which point we will be selecting our Denton Financial Group players of the game. Again, appreciate you joining us, whether here in West Knoxville on FM 105.3 WFIV, online, WFIV.com, or WFIV.com, and also FarragutFootball.com. There are links at both pages for the video stream provided by BDC Productions. Tyler Carr, Brett Burrows, Eric Gerhardt, Brandon Campbell with you here at Brett Clendenin, getting ahead of myself there, as we are underway, and the kick off the toe of Keeney sails down to the 3-yard line, and it'll be Farragut with the cover team looking pretty good, led by Brock Hodges. And who else for the Admirals down there? Number 92, looks like Ben Reed, and Aranda as well. So nicely done. Again, Tyler Carr, Brett Clendenin, Eric Gerhardt. Surely I can spit our names out correctly after all these years. And Brandon Campbell behind the camera. Andrew Burrows is down on the sideline providing security as always. And so it'll be the Bears from their 18-yard line to get this one started as far as the first play from scrimmage after good coverage by the Admirals special teams unit. A little bit of a concern. Last week Jefferson County had a couple of nice kickoff returns. And it'll be McCleary handing off to Burke, and he stutter steps through a hole on the left side and moves close to first down yardage. Farragut has Cozy and Kuhn in on the tackle as Javon Burke on the first play picks up about 9.
Yeah, 9 yards. Javen Burke hurt week 1 against us right after halftime, I believe. So real big playoff game, obviously. Farragut's got some guys out, got to fill some holes. Early momentum is huge. Again,
Javon Burke about 1,500 yards rushing this year, 310 yards receiving. So they'll line him up in the slot. They'll throw it to him out of the backfield, and certainly they'll run it a lot with him. Aiden McCleary, the quarterback, hands off to Burke running left, and he's got first down yardage as he clears the 30 and gets out to about the 33, 34-yard line across the way. Farragut pursuing with Fontenot and Cousy on the tackle.
Yeah, McCleary's done a good job. He's actually done some good things, been a really solid dual threat, just like the tight one early in the year.
Call it let's see, they started at the 18, so about a 9-yard gain a second ago, so this one's going to be a 6-yard gain, and the initial first-choice auto repair and service first down of the ball game belonging to the Bradley Bears on this game opening possession just underway from Farragut's Bill Clabo Field, first-round playoff matchup as they bring a man in motion, and they hand it to him, and that'll be Burke sweeping the left side, and he moves to the 40 where he's ridden down by Farragut's Brock Hodges. So Hodges in the ball game at linebacker along with Aranda. We thought we might see Purcell and Nussbaum, but not the case. And so Burke, again in motion from the right slot, picks up 7.
Yeah, and you'd love Eli to play, but it's probably 1 week too early, Eric. I'd love to play him, but I don't know that he's fully ready to go. And then Carter's been dealing with injuries all year, and so he's not out there right now.
Ball just beyond the 40-yard line, second down and 3. As they'll give to Burke, and Burke finds a hole up the middle, and Cozy rides him down in Farragut territory at the 47-yard line. But that's going to be a gain of 12 and another first-choice auto repair and service first down. So it's been all Javon Burke thus far for the Bradley Bears. 4 carries, 34 yards, a pair of first-choice auto repair and service first downs.
And kind of what we expected. Javen and Javon Burke are a great duo. When Javon goes that went out early in the year, they've really rode Javon, and as we're seeing early.
So to the 46-yard line of Farragut as Bradley moves left to right. That's toward VG's Bakery and Rick Terry Jewelry Designs in this opening quarter. They got the ball in the far hash, and it's Burke stutter stepping left. This time Farragut, well, they didn't quite wrap him up. Kuhn had him, spun him around, but Burke was able to get forward for a little positive yardage after contact. And from the 46-yard line, looks like they move it down to the 39. Again, Bradley really doing a good job staying on schedule. They have not faced third down yet. This is 2nd and 3.
No, running it every time. Javon's got lanes, and he's making things happen. He's got to be a little bit tired, but the front of the Bears is getting a push.
42 yards on 5 carries on this opening possession for Bradley. Running back Javon Burke, who stands off to the left of junior quarterback Aiden McClary, as the Bears with the ball inside the Farragut 40 at the 39-yard line. Ball on the far side hash, left hash, and it'll be, again, Burke getting the handoff. He's got the first down to the 30. Cozy rides him down from behind at the 26. And so another first-choice auto repair and service first down on about a 13-yard gain for Burke.
Yeah, and they give him a lot of freedom, Eric. The hole may be a certain way, but they let him pick and choose, and he bounces that one outside, and it was wide open.
14 yards for Burke, who now has 6 carries, 56. And so Bradley making a statement on the game opening drive, feeding Javon Burke the football time after time, and exclusively on the ground and exclusively in Burke's hands. And with his legs, the Bears moving ever closer to the Matlock Tire red zone. They bring a man in motion. It's Burke once more, and he's going to be tackled this time by Kuhn. And it's going to be a gain of 2. Walker perhaps in on the tackle as well. And so 2nd down and 8. And Brett, that's the best first down defense thus far for the Admirals.
And what is that, 7 straight carries?
Yeah.
For Javon Burke, that's unbelievable. And we know I like to turn up the intensity in the playoffs. I'm not where I need to be, and neither is this defense early on. But obviously the key is find 3.
Burke is in the slot. They're going to hand it to Wilson this time, and he is stacked up.
There we go.
And Nussbaum. Nussbaum checks into the ball game and makes an impact as Wilson gets his first carry. They give Burke a breather.
Yeah.
And it's going to go from the 23. Well, no gain. No gain.
Yeah, that's perfect. So looks like it's 3rd and 11 here on the 26. Big play here, Eric. You can't run the ball on this play, but they could throw it to him out of the backfield. You never know.
Bradley was 3 of 9 on 3rd down in the season opener against the Admirals. Farragut's opposition on the year, 36%. It's going to be 3rd down and 11, so he lost a couple on that last play. And so they set up the screen. They throw it underneath, and there's a big hit by Purcell, who checks into the ball game. And so the Admirals started Aranda and Hodges, but on this drive, as it's gone on, man, look at Purcell. He's got a club around his ankle. You normally think about the club that's on somebody's forearm. He's wearing a club on his lower leg.
I didn't see him check in. They threw the fake screen to the right to Burke and then came back to the tight end screen in the middle. Purcell levels the defender and makes the tackle. What an impact. But, Eric, you can tell. Look at him. He is hobbling greatly.
4th down, the Bears are going to go for it as they picked up 2 on the first pass play of the game on the little screen to Wilson, and so it'll be an empty set. Back to pass McCleary. He's a pretty good runner. He gets outside the pocket. He's going to throw downfield. Incomplete. It'll go over on downs. And so Bradley moves the ball almost effortlessly, it seemed, down the field in feeding Javon Burke. But the Admirals got a first down stop, held him to 2. Then they made the big pop with Carter Nussbaum checking into the ball game on 2nd down. Purcell makes a big lick on 3rd down. Your senior linebackers check into the ball game, and immediately there is a difference.
Yeah, and I honestly think that they were on the sideline saying, Coach, how many runs can we see in a row? Put us in. Eli, it honestly is about maybe 57%, but they're thinking maybe that's better than somebody else as he is still limping. But what a play, what a stop.
Farragut from its 24-yard line after the defense gets its first stop, and so Dawson Moore brings him out, and he's going to hand it to Schumann Schiff. First carry to the 25 and gets to the 28-yard line, maybe the 29, and so Schumann is going to have his legs taken from underneath him by, I believe, Marcus Gorey Jr., that freshman free safety, after a gain of 5.
Still love Schumann's get up. You talked about his boost. First carry he had early in the season. Still love his burst.
2nd down and 5 from the 29-yard line as the Admirals hold on the first possession of the ball game. Bradley near the red zone, didn't quite get there, and the Farragut defense gets an over on downs. And now 2nd down and 5. It'll be Moore keeping, running right, and Dawson's got the 37. And so the Admirals move from the 29 to the 37, an 8-yard gain and a first-choice auto repair and service first down on the keeper all the way by Dawson Moore.
And we talk about him getting more comfortable. Him pulling the ball, he's a lot more comfortable with that. He's reading it really well. Nice job there by Dawson.
Well, if the Admirals could capitalize on that momentum of the defense bowing its neck a moment ago, you just wonder about Bradley's mental fortitude against Farragut if things don't go their way early. Schumann takes the handoff, running left, extends the ball, and gets to about the 38.5-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of maybe 1.
Yeah, he tried to stay balanced, tried to stay patient, just not much doing on first.
Call it a 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8, so Schumann's carried a couple of times for 7, and Dawson Moore with the 8-yard gain. The Admirals moving right to left. That's toward Brickhouse Collectibles and also towards Mike Dyer Agency Nationwide Insurance, as Lyndon Welch Way in that direction, moving away from Dixie Lee Junction. As the Admirals with the ball on the near hash, hand off to Schumann, and the hole is clogged, and it's going to be 3rd down. The official coming in from the far side's closer to the 40, so give him 1 yard. But here's Farragut's first 3rd down of the ball game. And the Admirals last week against Jefferson County were only 1 of 6 on 3rd down. They're 41% on the year. In the earlier matchup with Bradley, the Admirals actually struggled in 3rd down. They were 2 of 12. So here's 3rd down and 7 from the 40. And the Admirals with 4 receivers, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far. As one of those receivers is the tight end, Wallace. He's in the slot on the left side. Matt White, slot receiver, right side. And Corum's the outside receiver to the far side of the field. DeVault to the near side. Shea remains in the offensive backfield. 3rd down from the 40. Moore back to pass. Throws. Has Wallace. And first down for the Admirals at the 48-yard line as Farragut moves the chains on the out pattern to the tight end, lined up in the slot on the left.
Yeah, big tight end. Looks like $1 million. Just a great out route. Nice catch, a yard past the sticks. First down, Ads.
First choice auto repair and service first down of the ball game for the Admirals, as they will have it from the 48-yard line, overcoming 3rd down and 7 with the 8-yard completion to the tight end, Jake Wallace. And so now the Admirals fresh set, hand it to Schumann, and Bradley coming, and the ball came out. The ball is out, and Bradley... The official, the white hat says Bradley's got the football.
Whoa.
Surely he's confused.
Hey, well, let's. The Admirals clearly made the recovery. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. You about to see me lose it, Eric.
Wow. I failed to ask Coach this morning where the officiating crew is from. You know, with the playoffs, they bring them in from outside the area.
Well, you almost got your answer for you.
That was.
You saw 3 Admirals around the football, and he points Bears, and so they're like, great,
the Farragut hands the ball to the white hat, and he says that the other team did it, and, so you have some concerns there.
Oh, my goodness.
And so now they're going to have to get the chains straightened out across the way.
Now they're probably confused where the ball's even at.
So it had been the 48-yard line. You got anything, Tyler?
I was just going to say, I've noticed that sophomore Reed Keys is in at left guard for the Admirals.
Okay.
Instead of
Aiden Smith
right now. It's a good matchup at 255 pounds with this solid-looking Bradley County defensive line.
Yeah.
So Schumann fumbled the football. It's been a while since we've seen Schumann cough it up, and it's 2nd down. It was a loss from the 48 back to the 41. And so 2nd down and long for the Admirals, but at least they still have the football.
Yeah.
And so here's Bradley bringing pressure up on the left edge, and Farragut's going to run the ball, and it's going to be nothing doing. And so Moore keeps, and they had Schumann wrapped up if he had handed it to Schumann, and Dawson's wrapped up as well, and it's a loss of 2 for the Farragut quarterback, and so it's 3rd and a country mile.
Yeah, the Bears' front has not been fooled very much. C.J. Hardy and Isaiah Arnold up front are keen on both guys in the run game and been all over it.
So it's third down. The Admirals overcame 3rd and 7. This is going to be third down and 18 from the 39-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Moore back to pass, has protection, rolls to his left, throws downfield, and it'll be dropped at the 45-yard line. Farragut makes that reception, and they probably would go for it on 4th down at the 45, 3 yards to go for the first, but could not make the reception on the near sideline, the Farragut sideline. And so on comes Brady Hodges, who on the season is averaging 36 yards per punt, a net of 31.8. And so Brady, after Farragut picks up 2 first-choice auto first downs, first-choice auto repair and service first downs, it's Hodges punting from the 39.
Beauty.
And hangs it up very high. And it's going to take a fairly neutral bounce, and Sam Moses is there to down it at the 19. So 42 yards and no return on the punt by Brady Hodges, as the Bears will start from their 19-yard line, their second possession of the ballgame. 2:41 to go in our first quarter. Good punt by Brady. And so the Bears moving left to right, ball on the near hash, and it'll be McClary handing off to Javon Burke. Big hole right side, and he's off to the races. Midfield to 40. Matt White giving chase to the 30, to the 20. Matt dives at his ankles and got enough of him that he trips him up inside the 5. So Burke down at the 5 as Bradley rips off a huge run on the first play of their second possession. Good blocking on the right side, and Burke found the crease and off to the races. Only a dive by Matt White at the ankles prevented the touchdown.
Yeah, thank goodness Matt White was in there, because he shows you how fast Javon Burke is, because Matt White could really barely run him down at best, just a crease off the right side, and he's got some speed.
It's a 76-yard run by Javon Burke. And so they're in the Matlock Tire red zone for the first time and running it off the left side. It's going to be, number 34, I believe, getting the handoff, Carter Clayton. And Clayton spelling Burke, who just went 70-plus yards. He needs a breather. He moves it down to the 3, a gain of 2.
Yeah, kind of a play art jumbo package. Likes to run off left tackle in the jumbo twin set.
Farragut's had some good red zone defense of late. As the Bears trying to punch it in from the 3, they give it to the big man, and he's going to be wrapped up and thrown back.
By another big man.
Corey Walker at the bottom of the pile. Joe Main in there as well. And so they checked in C.J. Hardy, goal line package, and he is thwarted.
Yeah, they're probably going to get Javon back involved, but he was probably exhausted from that big run. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 3.
Hardy gains nothing. And so here's 3rd down. The Bears 0 of 1 on 3rd down early as the Admirals try to bow their neck and maybe force a field goal. We'll see. As Burke back into the ball game, takes the handoff and runs it right and extends it across the goal line. Touchdown for Javon Burke. So Burke with a big 76-yard run that got him down close. Gets a couple of plays off. Catches his breath, comes back in, scores from 3 yards out, and for Burke, it's his 11th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, the biggest win you got if you're an Admiral defense is when 3 doesn't touch the football, and he's got great view, he's got great balance, and he cuts it outside with his quickness and just able to break a tackle. Touchdown, Bears.
So Burke scores, and I believe we have attempting the field goal, extra point, Grant Haney, and it is up, and it is good. And so Bradley leads 7-0 with 58 seconds to play in our opening quarter here at Farragut's Bill Claybo Field in this first-round playoff matchup. We're back with the kickoff after this as you listen to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
Hey, Rick Terry here with Rick Terry Jewelry Designs. We've gotten so many calls. Are you open? Are you doing jewelry work? And the answer is yes. Only a few small changes. Repair times are a little longer. Jewelry design consultations are done by appointment, but the same great service you've always expected is what you'll get. And in our brand new, totally redesigned jewelry store, it's spacious, clean, and safe. If you haven't been in, you've got to come see. Rick Terry Jewelry Designs, we want to be your jeweler.
So Bradley leads here early, 7-0. Final minute of our opening quarter as Javon Burke scores on a 3-yard touchdown run after he got him down to the 5 on a 76-yard gallop on the first play of Bradley's second possession. Admirals move for 2 first downs on their first possession, and they're set to receive the kickoff from Grant Haney, which will be brought to you by Valerie Thompson, your RE/MAX home specialist. Visit ValerieThompson.com to list your home or view Knoxville area homes for sale. Matt White settles under the kick at the 10-yard line, brings it back to the 20, to the 25, cuts it outside to the 30, stutter steps, got away from a man, and dives forward to the 35-yard line. Nice kickoff return by Matt. And so Farragut looking to answer Bradley's first score of the ball game.
Yeah, it's win or go home, Eric. You're 3 quarters from sitting on the couch, and I'll tell you, the run game just really early has not been existent. The Bears have played it well. We've got to get back on schedule and get consistent.
Admirals with a fumble that lost 8 yards on their last possession. It looked fairly promising up to that point. Then Moore was thrown for a 2-yard loss, and suddenly you're looking at 3rd and 20. And so the Admirals trying to stay on schedule, as Brett said. So low snap, but Moore handles it. Steps into a throw, has Matt White open at the 35-yard line, and Matt is off to the races and will not be caught. He drops anchor in the end zone, and the Admirals with a 1-play possession, 65 yards over the middle. We talked about the freshman safeties. Matt White got beyond them, and White to the house for the 11th time this year.
Matthews, 7-11, White always open. A lot of guys have stepped up, but you got to go to your bell cow in the playoffs. Just a beautiful post route, Eric, and he burned him. Great throw by Dawson. Touchdown, Admirals.
Farragut, just like that, answers with a 1-play possession, 65 yards. Dawson Moore, his 27th touchdown of the year, and White has been on the receiving end of 11 of them. Reese Keeney, and Keeney's limping as he comes off, but Keeney put it through. Hodges the holder, Kanan Jackson the snapper. Farragut ties the game in a heartbeat. It's 7-7 with 41 seconds to play in our opening quarter here at Bill Clabo Field. Back with a kickoff after this as you listen to Farragut Football, presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
The grocery store work, taking the kids to school. Your family makes thousands of stops each year, and with each stop, you're counting on your tire's grip to stop you safely. So make Matlock Tire your next stop. Let their experts make sure you have the tires that are up to the task, like the new Michelin Premier All-Season Tire, which has excellent gripping power on wet roads, even when worn. So stop by Matlock Tire today and make every stop count.
Go with the extra mile, Matlock Tire.
In Farragut, Maryville, Lenore City, Athens, and Hardin Valley.
Believe Simeon Sharp is going to handle the kickoff, as that was Keeney, but he limped off following the PAT. I don't know if he had a pre-existing condition or if he got hit or what, but it'll be Sharp here as Simeon sends it downfield. It's mishandled at the 12-yard line, picked up there by Wilson, the freshman, and he struggles back across the 25 to about the 28. So all things considered, turns out pretty well for the Bears as the ball was being fumbled around down around the 10-yard line, but they get it back to about the 28, 29-yard line. Kickoff brought to you by Valerie Thompson, your RE/MAX home specialist. Visit ValerieThompson.com to list your home or view Knoxville area homes for sale. Coming up at the conclusion of tonight's broadcast, we'll be selecting our Denton Financial Group players of the game. You can't predict, but you can prepare. Let Clark Denton or any team member of Denton Financial show you how to plan for your retirement needs. Just Google Denton Financial Group to get started. So the Bears from their 29-yard line, and it's going to be Bradley running left with it. That's the quarterback, McClary, and he's not Javen Burke in terms of his elusiveness, but he is a very effective runner at quarterback. And he picks up, Kuhn makes the tackle there. He picks up about 7 or 8, it looks like.
Yeah, he does a good job. He's not He's not Javen Burke by any means, dual threat, but he can still pull it on the zone read as he does there. He keeps you honest, gets 7 or 8.
From the 29, they put it at 37, so an 8-yard gain on McClary's first carry of the night. Javon Burke with 137 yards rushing in this opening quarter. He went out of bounds, did McClary on that carry, so the clock stops with 26 seconds to play in our opening quarter. The Bears with the ball, second down and short from the 37-yard line, and it's going to be Wilson, I think, getting the handoff, and he is going to be wrestled down by big Corey Walker.
Just love him. Corey just playing fantastic as a 2-year starter, as a junior, just going to be an animal next year. 276 pounds, just swallows up Jackson Wilson.
Jackson Wilson has found it tough sledding. 2 carries, -4 yards. And that'll do it for the first quarter. 7-7 is our score. Bradley will be facing third down when we return. The Bears 0 of 2 on third down so far. But we've had a couple of big plays. The Bears with a 76-yard run that got them to the 5. They would score 3 plays later. Farragut counters with a 1-play possession on a 65-yard touchdown strike from Dawson Moore to Matt White. And that's where we stand, 7-7 with 1 quarter in the books in this first-round playoff matchup. We're back with second quarter action in 1 minute as you listen to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
We're all paying attention to social distancing and cleanliness these days, and your nearby Pilot Food Mart has got you covered. Every Pilot has a sanitation station. You'll find masks and hand sanitizer to help keep you and your family safe. While you're there, get your Pilot My Rewards card. It's good for 3 cents a gallon off Pilot gas and in-store specials. Your neighborhood Pilot Food Mart. We're right on your way.
Here at the Mike Dyer Agency, we know insurance coverage options can be overwhelming. That's why we partner with Nationwide to help you find the best protection for you and your family's needs. Give us a call today at 865-966-2111 to learn more. Or visit our website at MikeDyerInsuranceAgency.com. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
It's going to be fourth down on the first play of the second quarter. They hand the ball to Javon Burke, and who's there to make the third down stop but Eli Purcell. So it's fourth down and 1, and the Bears bring on the punting unit. Eli Purcell with the tackle. What a gutsy performance by the senior. You'd expect nothing less. Just hope he's able to contribute throughout.
Yeah, that worries me for sure.
So it's Braden Clark to punt for the Bears. And it's a poor snap, but Clark comes up, fields it, then gets a poor punt away, although it's going to take a Bradley roll, and Farragut doesn't realize the ball is right there, and somebody needs to be letting Mason Collins know.
Yes.
But Farragut dodges a bullet. The ball does not strike Collins, and so it'll be the Admirals starting from their 31-yard line as Bradley, let's see, from the 29, they did not pick up a first down, so a 3-and-out series.
Kind of surprised, Eric. It was 4th and 1. Thought they might think about going for it as much as Javens had success on the ground, but they do punt the football after a big tackle by Eli Purcell.
Farragut from the 31-yard line. Second quarter here at Farragut High School. Schumann Shih just runs into 3 white jerseys. And so Hardy was there, but also was Gage Anderson, the outside linebacker, as well as, I believe, the nose guard, Nadavian Richards.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Eric. C.J. Hardy, Isaiah Arnold, and Nadavian Richards are playing well in that 3 technique. It may be 3 guys, but they're really being physical up front.
And, of course, they're walking 2 guys up. They've got those outside linebackers up on the line as well. Again, Anderson was in on that last one. So here's Moore throwing near side. We've got flags everywhere, and the ball is ripped out of the grasp of Corum before he ever secured it. And so you got to think Farragut held. Or maybe Bradley was offsides. Chop block.
Goes against the Admirals chop block.
That'll hurt.
Yeah.
If you're Bradley, I might take the incompletion, however, and bring up third down and 11. But at this part of the field, see what the Bears decide to do. They could back them up.
Yeah, they'll probably take it.
15, right?
Yeah.
So
Either
that'd
one,
be
you're in a
half
good
the
spot.
distance to the goal. It'd be 14 and a half. They're going to accept it. So it'll be the first penalty of the ball game. And again, half the distance to the goal, so they should put the ball on the 14.5-yard line.
Yep, that's where they're at, Eric.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we ran the ball better in this original meeting, but really tough sledding, running the football. And now it's going to be 2nd and a quarter mile.
And they bring Jake Wallace out of the ball game. So they're going to have Kiesling in one slot, Matt White in the other. White to the near side, Kiesling to the far side. DeVault and Corum are the outside receivers. As Farragut from the 15-yard line needs the 41. They'll hand it to Schumann Shih running left. And Shih clears the 15, which was maybe the 16. Creighton, the leading tackler for these Bears, helping out on that stop. And now here's Wallace checking back into the game for Kiesling.
Yep, only 3rd and 26. Don't know what you have dialed up.
Farragut 1 of 2 on third downs. And as you say, this one would be a rather remarkable conversion as the Admirals need the 41-yard line, and they're at the 17. And so Farragut to the line. Again, the 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Now they bring Wallace in motion, and he'll be behind right tackle Wilson Ventura. Moore back to pass, throws with some pressure in his face, looking for DeVault deep down the far sideline. Incomplete. Overthrown. Bradley was bringing some heat. And it'll be 4th down. And so the Bears with a 3-and-out series, and Farragut returns the favor.
Yeah, you got a tight one, 7 all. Admirals get it after half. Just throw pass interference or get a catch or something, just slightly overthrown.
So Hodges' first punt was 42 yards as Brady Hodges with Cannon Hall back. This punt is angled away from Hall, takes a Farragut roll, actually not that much away from him, just short, and Hall backed up, and it'll take a friendly Farragut roll, and it's down to the 38-yard line by, I believe, Hudson Kramer. And so from the 17 to the 38, that's going to be a 45-yard punt for Brady.
Effective. Didn't look as pretty as the last one, Eric, but it went farther.
Went 3 yards farther.
Which is the way punts go sometimes, but we need to find a way, as the running game non-existent early, Eric, we got to find a way, get off the field, get that going.
So Bradley from its 38-yard line. This is the Bears' 4th possession of the ball game. We're tied at 7, 9:27 to go in our first half here at Bill Claybo Field. Javon Burke trying to get away from Corey Walker, does, but here comes Cozy. I lost a grip on him. Burke's slippery, and he gets to the 45-yard line. Admirals keep pursuing, but a couple of Admirals had their hands on him and couldn't get Javon Burke on the ground as he picks up 7.
Yeah, just a slippery guy, just able to get off a couple tacklers and gain 7 when you thought you had him back for no gain.
So from the 45-yard line, 2nd down for the Bears. 2nd down and 3. Clock rolling, 8:50 to go in the first half. Ball on the near hash. It'll be Burke running right, giving ground, not this time. Cozy whips him down. Farragut has failed on 2 occasions to make the tackle when they got him in that manner, but Cozy able to secure the tackle, and it'll be thrown back to, the 44-yard line.
And it was the same guy. Cozy had him by the jersey on the last play. This time able to get his hands on it. And I like Cozy at that safety position, Eric. Playmaking position, and we know Cozy is a playmaker.
Bradley's 0 for 3 on 3rd downs. This is 3rd down and 4 from the 44-yard line as McClary looks to the sideline. Carter Howard, big receiver / tight end, is lined up wide right. Cannon Hall in the slot to the right side. That would be, I would think, where he's going. Farragut in the backfield, can't get him down, and now throws, and the pass is going to be caught at the 41-yard line by Carter Howard. Wow. And so McClary extends the play, and they move from the 44 of Bradley to the 41 of Farragut, a 15-yard gain. A first-choice auto repair and service 1st down on the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, a little scramble drill, throws it to his big tight end, and makes one heck of a catch, Eric. In the replay, it was close. I didn't get to, I don't know if he had it or not, but they're calling it a big 1st down catch for the Bears tight end.
So they overcome 3rd for the first time tonight And fresh set from the Farragut 41-yard line. Clock rolling, 7:30 to go until halftime. As man comes in motion, I believe that's Dugan. They hand it off to Burke up the middle, and there's Corey Walker one more time. Bryce Fontenot as well. Fontenot was in the offensive backfield quickly on that last play. But again, McClary was able to escape the pocket, extend the play. Nussbaum in on the tackle as well.
Nussbaum also gutting it out with Eli. I believe he's going to Furman, I was told, next year. Committed to Furman, had a lot of those offers. But he's gutting it out at 60% because what are you waiting for next week? It's win or go home.
2nd down and 6 after Burke picks up 4. Burke standing off to the right of McClary. Takes the handoff again. Farragut with good penetration. Can't make the tackle twice, but the 3rd time is the charm. Camden Kuhn on the tackle. And it'll be no gain or perhaps half a yard.
Gain of 1, it's 3rd and 5.
And the thing about, you notice the difference in from week 1 is a lot of things, but the big one is Javen Burke is just a workhorse now. And he was a complimentary piece, and now he is the guy. The Admirals miss a couple tackles. Luckily, Kuhn's able to wrap him up for a big 3rd down here.
So the Admirals trying to get off the field on 3rd down, although one would think on this part of the field if Bradley doesn't lose yardage, they'll probably go for it on 4th. It's from the Farragut 36-yard line, 3rd down and about 5 yards to go, as it's an empty set for McClary. Takes the snap, looking over the middle, throwing towards the end zone. Matt White at free safety knocks it away at the 1 from Cannon Hall.
I'll be honest with you, Eric. I'm not sure we have a safety that can do that other than Matthew. He was beaten, catch-up speed, and then his leaping ability there to make a play. I don't play favorites, never have, never will. But if I did, 20 would be in the conference. Oh, my goodness, what a play on the replay.
Beautifully timed.
And the way he looked like he was jumping forever. He stayed in the air forever. And his
snap throws high and incomplete. Incomplete. He was looking for Howard, and then it was deflected, and you thought for a second it might ricochet to Foodie, but it was behind him and falls incomplete to the turf. And so stop, and we'll take over with 5:53 to play in our first half.
And I think people don't realize Eric and I don't hang out as much in the offseason as you would think. So I want another week with Eric and the whole Admiral crew. So let's get a W and move on to a big matchup in week 2. Just a sit-down route there on 4th down, overthrown, luckily, batted away. Admirals got it on the 36.
Farragut. Ball on the near hash. Hand it to Schumann. They're determined to run the ball. He turns the corner, the 40, 45, 50, and into Bradley territory at the 46-yard line. And so the Admirals finally find a crease in the running game with Schumann Shiz. They move for a first-choice auto repair and service first down from the 36 to the Bradley 45. That'll be a 19-yard gain for Schumann.
Admirals got their juice back. I've got my juice back. Nice run. We're really struggling running the football. They're really keying on them, trying to make us throw the football. Schumann able to get outside, contain there, get the biggest run, I think, of the day for us.
Schumann, 7 carries now for 21 yards. As the Admirals fresh set from the 45, takes the handoff, and he is met immediately by Hardy. Again, he's a difference maker. 2.5 tackles for loss last week against McMinn County, and that's a tackle for loss for Hardy, perhaps his second already here tonight, as Schumann is thrown for a loss back to close to the 48. It's a loss of 2. Technically, it's really closer to 3.
Yeah, I'm giving them credit. Hardy, Arnold, and Richards have been a problem, and Hardy is the leader of that group up front in the 3-man defensive front.
So 2nd down, 12.5 yards to go. Low snap, handoff to Schumann, and they're going to ride him down from behind, as that time it was the opposite defensive end, Isaiah Arnold, wrapping him up. And so it's 3rd down. It just looks like, they're not blocking the backside oftentimes, and they're running them down.
Yeah, I mean, they're an athletic front. I mean, it's not as big as last week, of course, but that's really sometimes more difficult when you're big and athletic.
Sure.
And this is a big front 3, but an athletic front 3.
3rd down and 13 as Farragut loses 1. So they got the big run by Schumann, 19 yards to get into Bear territory, but then he loses 2 and then loses 1, and it's going to be 3rd down and 13 yards to go from the 48-yard line. Looked like maybe Bradley got an early start on the left side. And Moore goes down. We'll get a check on the replay, but I almost thought coming off the right edge that Bradley got early start.
Well, yeah, it looked like it was almost offsides.
We got Tyler.
Say the Bradley Bears right now are doing a good job moving those outside ends. They're playing contain one play, and then the next time they're coming in a 4-eye look and playing almost big gap responsibility. And you saw right there, they came in and really got really close. I think it may be messing with the guard and centers right now for the Admirals.
And I'll tell you what, the snap has been low 3 or 4 times. I'm already getting concerned with that. Almost offsides as well. But you're right, Tyler. They're confusing the front for sure of the Admirals.
This punt by Hodges will be snagged by Kanan Jackson, the long snapper. And so short punt from the 48 to about the 28. And so that's going to be 24 yards on the third punt of the night by Brady Hodges. None of them have been returned thus far, but that far and away the shortest punt of the night for Brady. And so Moore lost 5 on the sack. We watched the replay, and I think it was almost perfectly timed by the outside linebacker. May have been Knox Watson.
And then the low snap, too,
Right,
Eric. It's
right.
a mixture of things, and that's why we got to get that snap up.
So Bradley from its 28-yard line, hand to Burke coming towards the boundary near side, and Eli Purcell gets out there and trips him up. It'll be a gain of maybe 3 or 4.
I have to say it. I will never, ever play a favorite, but number 8 is just a player I've loved since he was a sophomore. Gutting it out at 60%. They thought there was a chance he could play next week. Never imagined he could play this week. Still making tackles on really one ankle.
From the 32-yard line, ball on the near hash. Bradley moving right to left. That's towards Mike Dyer, Agency Nationwide Insurance. Handoff to Burke, and Farragut got a face mask. Burke goes down to avoid contact at the 39-yard line. But
is that what that was, Eric?
I think Farragut got a face mask.
You could be right. It was. I'm hoping for a hold, Eric. I'm going to stay optimistic, but it could have been a face mask maybe on Corey. But I'm hoping you're wrong, Eric. Yep, you're right. A hold would have been great for us, though. Let's see if that's real. Get the replay here.
So I'm going to do it from the end of the run. So it'll be a first choice auto repair insert. No, it's from the spot. So
First and 10, Bradley Central from their own 44.
well, I guess it was inadvertent, so they tacked on 5. Gotcha.
Yeah, 2:50 left in this game, moving very quickly. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, knotted up at 7.
So first choice auto repair and service first down, and they'll give to Burke, and he's looking for a seam, just kind of waiting patiently behind the offensive line on the right side, and then Farragut comes crashing through and holds him to a 1-yard gain as Farragut's Dawson Brown at the bottom of the pile. Newsball may have been in on the tackle as well. Second down 8.
Yeah, Burke got some patience about him. Boy, he does let the hole develop before he explodes. Just nothing doing there.
2-yard gain. I've got Burke for 162 yards in this first half. Of course, 76 came on 1 carry. They'll throw the slant, and that's going to be Cannon Hall, I believe, maybe with his first reception. Indeed it is, and Hall over the middle is going to move for a first down as they go from, the 46 or so yard line to the 39. So that'll be a 15-yard gain. First choice auto repair and service, first down.
Yeah, a little play action, find Cannon Hall. First catch tonight, Eric, but he was big for them in the first game, if I remember correctly. We talked about him a lot. He's a good player.
He is. He's their far and away leading receiver on the year. 64 catches coming in, 919 yards. They bring Burke in motion and hand it to him, sweeping right side, just picking his way, and moves for about a 2 or 3 yard gain. As Farragut's got Kuhn and Walker making the hit.
Yeah, gain of a couple. There's interesting, Eric. They haven't used any timeouts, and the clock's ticking under 120. Kind of surprising to me.
Play clock at 17. Second quarter clock, first half clock at 1:10. Second down and 7 from the 36-yard line of Farragut. Handed to Burke one more time. Big hole this time on the right, and that's first down yardage as he'll be spun down by Logan Foodie, but not until the Bears move from the 36-yard line down to about the 26-yard line. 24, rather.
Yeah, that was blocked well off right edge, just wide open as he burst through the hole.
Another first choice auto repair and service. First down, actually a 13-yard gain. 23-yard line, they give it to Burke as they hurry to the line. Runs into a wall, bounces it right. Farragut gets him out of bounds. as the corner came up. Logan Foodie on the far side and made the tackle.
Yeah, nice job by Foodie, who's also limping a little bit. A lot of nicks and bruises this time of year or worse. Gains a couple, gets out of bounds. 46 seconds left in the half. They're on the edge of the red zone, but they got all 3 timeouts left.
46.6 seconds to play after a gain of 1. It's 2nd down and 9 from the 22-yard line of Farragut in a 7-7 game. The Admirals get the ball to start the second half. So McClary will have Burke off to his right and a couple of receivers to each side. Play fake to Burke. Let's see, they get in there on him. They did. Corey Walker. He escaped Walker initially, but then Farragut comes with Fontenot and Maine and Brown as well. So that defensive front gets to him, and it'll be 3rd down, and the Bears are going to use a timeout.
Yeah, now you got to use the timeout. Now after the big Walker gets in there, Fontenot cleans it up. Now it's 3rd and 14. Interesting no man's land. What's the situation, Eric, on the field goals this year for the Bears?
They are not particularly strong-legged. They can hit the PATs, and the short field goals they've been able to hit, but their range is limited.
So this is way outside the range as a 44-yard line. So you expect a 44-yard field goal from here, You expect them to go for this 4-down territory as it's 3rd and 14.
McCleary loses 5 as the Admirals get the sack, and the Bears are 1 of 5 on 3rd down in this first half as they once more face 3rd down. And as Brett was saying, so they need essentially the 13. If they net the 13, they've got the first down.
Yep.
And they'll be at the 27 thereabouts, 3rd down. Ball on the far side hash.
Huge play. You get the ball after half, Eric. Into half, beginning of 3rd quarter, always big opportunities. We always talk about how good Maryville is in those situations. These are winning situations.
Yeah. So Burke off to the right of McClary, and the snap comes back to McClary. They set up the screen, dump it off to Burke down the far sideline, and Farragut gets him out of bounds as Nussbaum came over, and Burke just stepped out of bounds to avoid contact. And so from the 27-yard line, we'll see. Looks like they mark it at the 16, so a gain of 11.
Yeah, I don't think that's very smart. He's a great player, but on 3rd and 14, Eric, you don't step out of bounds to avoid contact. You try to make a play, and, Eric, they are going to try this field goal.
A 34-yard field goal attempt. The long is 36 if this is Grant Haney, and it is Haney. So this is going to actually be, a 33, a 33-yarder. Snap comes back. Haney kicks it, and it's sailing downfield.
That's left.
And it is good. Sneaks inside the left upright. So a 33-yard field goal by Grant Haney.
Wasn't pretty.
But effective.
Yep.
And I believe he is now 6 of 9 on the year, and that is his 2nd longest make of the season. It comes with 29 seconds remaining in the first half and gives Bradley a 10-7 edge. We'll get a break and return with the kickoff on the other side as you listen to Farragut Football, presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
Brickhouse Collectibles Hobby Shop is your headquarters for your favorite Lego sets, new and old, comic books, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, sports cards, games, statues, and whatever cool things we can find for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Brickhouse Collectibles. We're located at 163 West End Avenue in Farragut. Open 7 days a week. Discover a world of fun that awaits you at Brickhouse Collectibles. Call today 865-392-1092 or email us at info@brickhousecollectibles.com.
29 seconds remaining in the first half. Bradley hits a 33-yard field goal seconds ago to take a 10-7 lead. And now the ensuing kickoff brought to you by Valerie Thompson, your RE/MAX home specialist. Visit ValerieThompson.com to list your home or view Knoxville area homes for sale. Farragut will see them pooch it. And the Admirals' Hodges, I believe, comes up and fields it and goes to the ground at about the 37, 38-yard line. So, Brett, what we need is another one-play possession.
Yeah, I was about to say, what do you want to do here, Eric? On the 37, we've got obviously some legs for field goals, but you'd like to try to take a few shots here. You got 3 timeouts. You got it on the 37. You probably need 35 yards at minimum to get in field goal range. I hope we're going to play aggressive here.
Admirals will have Corum as the outside receiver to the near side. Matt White will be in the slot. It's the 4 wide look with Kiesling in the slot to the far side and Max DeVault to the outside. As Deion Williams checks into the ball game in the offensive backfield, he'll be protecting Dawson Moore, who rolls to his right, throws. Matt White makes the catch and gets out of bounds at the 46-yard line, 47-yard line. If that's the 47, it's a first down.
It's right on the stick, Eric.
And the official looks like he's saying move him. So first choice auto repair and service first down on a 10-yard completion to Matt White, his second catch of the ball game. The earlier one was the 65-yard touchdown.
You have 3 timeouts. You can throw it anywhere. Oh, false start. False start, left guard.
I'm also noticing that freshman Nathan Harville is checked in the ballgame at the left guard, so that now puts a sophomore at center and a freshman left guard next to him.
Aiden Smith's been playing well, so he must be dinged up.
And that must be Eli's brother, huh? Nathan Harville? Yeah, got to be. And Eli's out. But his young freshman brother's playing.
Third flag against Farragut. And the snap is dropped. Moore picks it up, keeps his head, throws the ball out of bounds. Well done. Well done by Dawson Moore. For a second, you almost thought he was going to hit the panic button, and but no. Composure, and it's a...
He's no Garantano. He's not just going to panic. But still, that's the 4th or 5th snap I've seen, Eric. Oh, and then we get another flag here. Okay. What's the problem?
Substitution.
I'm not sure exactly what he means from that.
Yeah, Farragut wants an explanation.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. They didn't even substitute. I don't know.
Penalty against Farragut, 5-yard step off, so now it's second down and 20 yards to go, as back to pass will be Moore. And the pocket breaking down, he lets it go deep, and Farragut will not be able to get there. Mason Collins, the receiver, down around the Bradley 18-yard line, can't track that one down, and it'll be third down, 11.2 seconds remaining. What do you got, Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler, you have something?
They said that Max DeVault did not get off the field within 3 seconds from the far side of the field.
Wow, okay.
Well, that would be a challenge.
Yeah, that's tough. You got to be fast. I'm not sure that rule's always been called.
So here's Farragut with third down. They're 1 of 4 on third down, and they're going to just put it on the ground. Deion Williams from the 37. And let's see, will Bradley stop the clock? They do. They move to the 44, and they say Farragut called a timeout. Well, okay, 2 seconds, so I guess the Admirals will throw deep on fourth down. So interesting. So Admirals with the about 7-yard gain for Deion Williams. It's his first rush of the night, and so Farragut will go for it on fourth down with 2 seconds remaining, and the Admirals trailing 10-7 on the season. Admirals converting 29% of their fourth downs, but this is not your typical fourth down. This is just the go for the downs, go for broke final play of the half, and so
I'm hoping he can throw 56 yards, but if not, Eric, a penalty would be nice as well.
Yeah, you get a penalty and the half can't end.
Yep.
So Mason Collins and Matt White, let those guys run flies.
Yep.
And see if anything develops.
Get the ball after half. Anything is a bonus here. I like the aggressiveness with only 2 seconds.
And Nathan Harville is the left guard as they return to the field.
Good size for a freshman.
Yep.
240 pounds. He's obviously going to be probably a soon-to-be 3-year starter.
So Deion Williams will provide protection as the Admirals with 3 receivers and a tight end. Moore going to actually throw short to Corum, and at the 35-yard line it was dropped, incomplete. And so the horn sounds, and we go to the half with Bradley leading Farragut 10-7. The Admirals will get the ball to begin the second half, but it was both teams scoring touchdowns in the opening quarter, and Bradley late in the first half converts on a 33-yard field goal by Grant Haney, sophomore kicker for the Bears, and that is the difference currently Bradley leading 10-7 at intermission. Coming up, we'll have our VG's Bakery halftime report, and we'll get a look at the drive chart and both the team and individual stats from the first half of play. And as the VG's Bakery halftime report rolls on, a little later in the half, we'll get a look at other scores of interest from around East Tennessee on this opening night of the 2020 high school football playoffs. Again, Farragut trailing Bradley at intermission 10-7 as you listen to Farragut football presented by Pilot Food Marts on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 WFIV.
Hey folks, Gerald Dennis with Ted Russell Nissan. And remember, nobody can sell you the same new Nissan for less than Ted Russell Nissan. You can shop all over heaven and half of Tennessee and you won't find a better deal on a new Nissan. And if you don't believe it, bring me the other dealer's best deal. Bring me their best price. Bring me their best payment. And we'll beat it every time. And remember, if it'll drive, it's worth $5,500. Any make, any model, even wrecked with a bad Carfax. And that's not up to like the other dealers, but guaranteed $5,500 for any old sled you can drive on our lot. And that's only at Ted Russell Nissan.
Hey, Rick Terry here with Rick Terry Jewelry Designs. We've gotten so many calls. Are you open? Are you doing jewelry work? And the answer is yes. Only a few small changes. Repair times are a little longer. Jewelry design consultations are done by appointment, but the same great service you've always expected is what you'll get. And in our brand new, totally redesigned jewelry store. It's spacious, clean, and safe. If you haven't been in, you've got to come see. Rick Terry Jewelry Designs, we want to be your jeweler.
The grocery store, work, taking the kids to school. Your family makes thousands of stops each year, and with each stop, you're counting on your tire's grip to stop you safely. So make Matlock Tire your next stop. Let their experts make sure you have the tires that are up to the task, like the new Michelin Premier All-Season Tire, which has excellent gripping power on wet roads even when worn. So stop by Matlock Tire today and make every stop count.
Go with the extra mile, Matlock Tire.
In Farragut, Maryville, Lenore City, Athens, and Hardin Valley.
Coming up, it's the VG's Bakery halftime report here on I-105.
Hi, this is Dave from VG's Bakery. Circumstances have forced us to change the way we do business, but nothing will change the pride and love we have for baking the finest baked goods. Go to vgsbakery.com to check out our curbside menu we offer Tuesday through Friday weekly. And our cake department is ready to create your beautiful and delicious special occasion cakes. Pastries, cookies, bread, and desserts, all made by hands that care. VG's Bakery, handcrafted baked goods. Oh yeah.
Welcome into our VG's Bakery halftime report. VG's Bakery, located in the Cole Shopping Center on Kingston Pike in Farragut, across from Village Green. VG's Bakery, get you some. The Admirals trailing at halftime in this first-round playoff matchup with Bradley Central. It's the Bears up 10-7 as Bradley struck first on their second possession of the ball game. The Bears actually on the first drive of the night kept it exclusively on the ground with Javon Burke. That got them close to the red zone, but then Farragut bowed its neck and the Bears went over on downs. Farragut took over at its 24-yard line, picked up 2 first downs, but then Brady Hodges called upon to punt. 42-yarder by Hodges, the Farragut senior, as no return on the punt. That backed Bradley up to its 19-yard line, but on the first play, a 76-yard run by Javon Burke got the Bears down into the Matlock Tire red zone at the 5-yard line. Burke got a breather for 2 plays, returned on 3rd and goal from the 3, and scored from there. So Bradley leading 7-0 with 58 seconds to play in the opening quarter as Grant Haney was good on the extra point. Farragut comes back, a 1-play possession, 65-yard touchdown strike from Dawson Moore to Matt White. Reese Keeney added the extra point, hobbled off afterwards, and Farragut had tied the game at 7 in just 17 seconds following Bradley's game-opening score. So 41 seconds to play in the opening quarter, 7-7 was our score. Simeon Sharp then with the kickoff. And Bradley took it from its 29-yard line following the kickoff return. They went 3 and out, but the Farragut offense returned the favor, 3 and out. Hodges with a 45-yard punt, no return. Bradley from its 38 went over on downs for a second time in the first half. Farragut got the ball at its 36, but had to punt. This time Hodges' punt was 24 yards with no return. Bradley from its 28 moved close to the red zone. Let's see, actually, I guess they got it into the red zone, yes, and converted with a field goal, 33-yarder by Grant Haney. My numbers showing that is his sixth field goal of the season, second longest of the year. Last week's 36-yarder against McMinn County, his longest, and so that came with 29 seconds to play in the half and provided Bradley with their current 10-7 advantage. Farragut stopping the clock with 4th down and long to go with 2 seconds to play. Throw it downfield on the final play of the half. It was incomplete, and that's how the first half comes to an end. So both teams with a touchdown in the first half. Bradley with a 3-yard run by Javon Burke. Farragut with a 65-yard touchdown pass, Dawson Moore to Matt White, and Bradley with a late field goal off the toe of sophomore Grant Haney. 10-7 your halftime score. No turnovers in the first half. It was Farragut, by my count, with 5 first-choice auto repair and service first downs. The Bears had 7, and Bradley was 1 of 6 on 3rd down. Farragut was 1 of 5 on 3rd down. Bradley 0 of 2 on 4th down. Farragut 0 of 1. The Admirals were penalized 4 times for 30 yards. Bradley was not flagged in the first half. So it's 10-7. Bradley leading Farragut here at intermission. We'll return with more of our VG's Bakery halftime report. After a 2-minute break, we'll get a look at the individual stats from the first half. As you listen to Farragut Football, presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
105.3 WFIV, Loudon, Farragut, Lenore City.
Shop Farragut wishes you and the entire Admiral Sports Nation much success and happiness this exciting season, and reminds you to shop Farragut all year long. Your Farragut retailers, restaurants, and service providers have worked hard to make your shopping easy and a bargain. Follow Shop Farragut on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get all of the deals and discounts you need. Go Admirals!
At your nearby Pilot Food Mart, there's a refreshing drink special waiting for you, and it's only 99 cents. Any size fountain drink, icy, or coffee is right inside, and just 99 cents every day. With your Pilot My Rewards card, get 3 cents off every gallon of gas, and find additional specials inside the store. Drink specials, gas savings, regular specials. Get your Pilot My Rewards card today. Pilot, we're right on your way.
Brickhouse Collectibles Hobby Shop is your headquarters for your favorite Lego sets, new and old, comic books, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, sports cards, games, statues, and whatever cool things we can find for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Brickhouse Collectibles. We're located at 163 West End Avenue in Farragut, open 7 days a week. Discover a world of fun that awaits you at Brickhouse Collectibles. Call today 865-392-1092 or email us at info@brickhousecollectibles.com.
Looking for a fast quote? How about the right quote? We here at the Mike Dyer Agency can deliver both to help you with your insurance needs. Call us today at 865-966-2111 to learn more, or visit our website at MikeDyerInsuranceAgency.com. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Welcome back into the VG's Bakery halftime report from Farragut's Bill Claybo Field, opening round of the 2020 high school football playoffs, and it's the Bradley Bears leading the Farragut Admirals 10-7 at intermission after both teams with first quarter touchdowns, and the Bears with a late 33-yard field goal being the difference thus far. 10-7 our score. Taking a look at the individual stats from the first half. First for Bradley, Javon Burke carried the ball 20 times in the first half, scored the lone touchdown for the Bears, a 3-yarder, which came 3 plays after he had sprinted 76 yards from the 19-yard line of Bradley to the 5 of Farragut. And so Burke with the 1 touchdown for the Bears in the first half. Again, 20 carries, 179 yards. C.J. Hardy was he got one of those carries when Burke checked out after the 76-yard gallop. Hardy was stuffed for no gain. Aiden McCleary, the Bradley quarterback, carried twice for 3 yards, had 8 yards, an 8-yard gain, and then was sacked for a 5-yard loss. Jackson Wilson, 2 carries, -4 yards, and Carter Clayton got the first carry after that 76-yard sprint by Burke, and he picked up 2, nudged the ball from the 5 down to the 3. Again, Hardy was stopped for no gain. Burke returned to the lineup on 3rd and goal, and he scored from 3 yards out. So Bradley with 26 total rushing attempts in the first half. Again, 20 of those Javon Burke. They pick up 180 yards. Burke had 179. Passing, McCleary, 43 yards on 4 of 7, completing 4 of 7 passes, 43 yards, as he connected with tight end Carter Howard. That was a 3rd down conversion pass covering 15 yards. Cannon Hall with a catch over the middle, good for 15 yards. Javon Burke with an 11-yard gain on a screen. And Jackson Wilson, they ran the screen to Wilson, and he picked up 2 yards early in the ball game. So, again, 43 yards, 4 different receivers catching passes for the Bears. You can take their 43, add it to the 180 on the ground, and 223 yards of offense in the first half for Bradley Central. For Farragut, Dawson Moore carried 3 times, 1 yard. Dion Williams, 1 carry, 7 yards. Schumann Shih, 9 carries, 18 yards. 13 total rushing attempts for Farragut in the first half, netting just 26 yards. Dawson Moore, meanwhile, 3 of 8 through the air for 83 yards and a touchdown, his 26th of the season, as Moore threw the 65-yard touchdown on the post to Matt White. Matt also had a 10-yard reception later in the half. Jake Wallace with the only other catch. It was a 3rd down conversion catch covering 8 yards for the senior tight end. And so the Admirals with 83 yards receiving, 26 yards rushing, and 109 yards of offense for Farragut in the first half, again compared to 223 for Bradley. And you feel like, if nothing else, just because of that game-opening drive where the Bears kept feeding the ball to Javon Burke, that they have a substantial time of possession lead. So the defense has been out there quite a bit for the Admirals, but got the break to rest up a bit, rehydrate, and Farragut will get the ball to start the second half. Bradley leading at intermission 10-7. We'll get another 2-minute break and return with more of our VG's Bakery halftime report on the other side as you listen to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 WFIV.
Hi, this is Dave from VG's Bakery. Circumstances have forced us to change the way we do business, but nothing will change the pride and love we have for baking the finest baked goods. Go to vgsbakery.com to check out our curbside menu we offer Tuesday through Friday weekly. And our cake department is ready to create your beautiful and delicious special occasion cakes. Pastries, cookies, bread, and desserts, all made by hands that care. VG's Bakery, handcrafted baked goods. Oh yeah.
The grocery store, work, taking the kids to school. Your family makes thousands of stops each year, and with each stop, you're counting on your tire's grip to stop you safely. So make Matlock Tire your next stop. Let their experts make sure you have the tires that are up to the task, like the new Michelin Premier All-Season Tire, which has excellent gripping power on wet roads, even when worn. So stop by Matlock Tire today and make every stop count.
Go in the extra mile, Matlock Tire.
In Farragut, Maryville, Lenore City, Athens, and Hardin Valley.
Hey, Rick Terry here with Rick Terry Jewelry Designs. We've gotten so many calls. Are you open? Are you doing jewelry work? And the answer is yes. Only a few small changes. Repair times are a little longer. Jewelry design consultations are done by appointment. But the same great service you've always expected is what you'll get. And in our brand new, totally redesigned jewelry store. It's spacious, clean, and safe. If you haven't been in, you've got to come see. Rick Terry Jewelry Designs, we want to be your jeweler.
Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan, and it's a buyer's market. That means you could trade up to a new Nissan and keep the same payment or even less. And most customers can do it with no money down. Huge discounts, large rebates, more for your trade-in, and less for our new Nissan so that you can get the payment you need on the Nissan you want. And remember, nobody can sell you the same new Nissan for less than Ted Russell Nissan. That's why we're Knoxville's volume dealer. Ted Russell Nissan, right here in beautiful West Knoxville on Kingston Pike.
Ted Russell Nissan. We got it going on. Every night, it's Friday night without you.
Welcome back into our VG's Bakery halftime report from Farragut's Bill Claybo Field, opening round of the 2020 high school football playoffs, and the Admirals trailing Bradley 10-7. Farragut will get the ball to start the second half. Farragut's kickers have returned to the field. Bradley, they got their entire team back out, and it's got about 5 or 6 minutes here at least to go until commencement of the second half. Let's get a look at what's going on elsewhere around East Tennessee, and for that, toss it over to Brett Clendenin.
Thank you, Eric. So we've got some scores here, some Western scores, none yet, but Dobbins-Bennett leads Cleveland 20-14. McMinn County leads Bearden 14-0. Maryville got the 1-0 COVID win over Science Hill. Warren County, Mount Juliet knotted up at 0 in the second quarter. Independence Laverne knotted up at 0 in the second quarter as well. David Crockett and Sevier County knotted up at 21. Halls over Tennessee High right now 8-7. Daniel Boone losing to South Doyle in 258 tonight 10-6 at the half. Central leads Morristown East 28-0. Soddy Daisy, Oak Ridge, and a good one 17-7 Oak Ridge at the half. West only up 52-0 on Lenore City at the half. Walker Valley down to Powell tonight 10-7. Fulton Ray County in the second quarter 0-0 in that one. East Hamilton leads Sullivan South 21-13. Anderson County up 42-0 on Granger at the half. Claiborne down to Pigeon Forge 21-7 at the half. Kingston leads Chucky Doak 21-14 at the half. Alcoa destroying Johnson County 28-0 at the half. Gatlinburg Pittman leads Unicoi County 34-0. And let's take a look here. We've got York Institute down to Loudon 28-0. Cumberland Gap down to South Green also by the same score 28-0. Oneida Hampton knotted up at 7 at the half. Midway leads Coalfield 14-8. Greenback up 35-0 on Unica. And we've got Jellicoe down big to Oliver Springs 37-6. Coalfield leads Hancock County 32-0. In Division II, CAK leads Boyd Buchanan 3-0. Chattanooga Christian leads Grace Christian 28-7. And Webb and Goodpasture knotted up at 0 at the half. Eric, back to you.
Thank you, Brett. And I want to remind folks that you can now listen to WFIV on your Alexa-enabled device. Simply enable the WFIV skill at the Alexa skill store, or just say, Alexa, enable the WFIV skill. Then whenever you want to listen, simply say, Alexa, play WFIV, and there you go. You've got good time, great oldies. Farragut trailing 10-7 here at intermission. At the conclusion of tonight's broadcast, we'll be selecting our Denton Financial Group Players of the Game. You can't predict, but you can prepare. Let Clark Denton or any team member of Denton Financial show you how to plan for your retirement needs. Just Google Denton Financial Group to get started. Admirals with a touchdown in the opening quarter on a 65-yard strike from Dawson Moore to Matt White. Matt with his 11th touchdown reception of the season. Dawson his 26th passing touchdown. Second all-time in a single season in Farragut football history. But the Admirals trailing 10-7 as the Bears tack on a late field goal in the final minute of the half. A 33-yarder by Grant Haney as the Bears were on the board first late in the first quarter on the 3-yard run by Javon Burke. But Farragut answered with the one-play strike again, 65 yards more to White. That's where we stand, 10-7, with both teams getting set here for the second half. Let's get a 2-minute break, and we'll return with the start of the second half on the other side. You're listening to Farragut Football, presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
You've been listening to the VG's Bakery halftime report here on I-105. Coming up, kickoff for the second half.
Hi, this is Dave from VG's Bakery. Circumstances have forced us to change the way we do business, but nothing will change the pride and love we have for baking the finest baked goods. Go to vgsbakery.com to check out our curbside menu we offer Tuesday through Friday weekly. And our cake department is ready to create your beautiful and delicious special occasion cakes. Pastries, cookies, bread, and desserts, all made by hands that care. VG's Bakery, handcrafted baked goods. Oh, yeah.
Shop Farragut wishes you and the entire Admiral Sports
Well, Dusty,
Nation
we
much
put a wrap on the
success and
halftime
happiness
report,
this
and then they went and
exciting
put more
season,
time
and
on the
remind you
halftime
to shop
clock.
Farragut all year
So
long. Your Farragut retailers,
they're showing right now
restaurants, and service
2:25.
providers have worked hard
So
to
if
make
you
your
can
shopping easy and a bargain.
give us
Follow Shop
another
Farragut
minute
on
and a
Facebook,
half maybe
Twitter,
after
and
this one.
Instagram to get all of the deals and discounts you need. Go Admirals.
We're all paying attention to social distancing and cleanliness these days, and your nearby Pilot Food Mart has got you covered. Every Pilot has a sanitation station. You'll find masks and hand sanitizer to help keep you and your family safe. While you're there, get your Pilot My Rewards card. It's good for 3 cents a gallon off Pilot gas and in-store specials. Your neighborhood Pilot Food Mart. We're right on your way.
Here at the Mike Dyer Agency, we know insurance coverage options can be overwhelming. That's why we partner with Nationwide to help you find the best protection for you and your family's needs. Give us a call today at 865-966-2111 to learn more. Or visit our website at MikeDyerInsuranceAgency.com. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Brickhouse Collectibles Hobby Shop is your headquarters for your favorite Lego sets, new and old, comic books, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, sports cards, games, statues, and whatever cool things we can find for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Brickhouse Collectibles. We're located at 163 West End Avenue in Farragut, open 7 days a week. Discover a world of fun that awaits you at Brickhouse Collectibles. Call today 865-392-1092 or email us at info@brickhousecollectibles.com.
105.3 WFIV, Loudon, Farragut, Lenore City.
So just about set to get the second half underway here from Farragut's Bill Claybo Field in this first round playoff matchup with the Bradley Central Bears. And it is Farragut trailing 10-7. They will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. And Admirals with a sophomore, Howie Sintel, at center. And now they've got Nathan Harville and Reed Keys splitting out at left guard. Harville's a freshman. And Keys is a sophomore, but talking about 2/5 of your offensive line that had not started prior to the Jefferson County game. And, of course, defensively, between COVID and injuries, the Admirals a limited bunch, but they're right there. They just need to find a way to shore up the run defense and perhaps get their run game themselves untracked. And so here's Bradley to get our second half underway. They kick a line drive to Mason Collins at the 12-yard line. Collins to the 20, coming back near side, turns the corner, 25-30, 35, and out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Good kickoff return by the Admirals' Mason Collins. Kickoff brought to you by Valerie Thompson, your RE/MAX home specialist. Visit ValerieThompson.com to list your home or view Knoxville area homes for sale.
Yeah, time to get emotional, Eric. 2 quarters maybe left in the season for us and for the Ads. Got to come out right here and make a statement offensively. If you can't run the ball, it is what it is. But we've got to try to move the ball through the air. If we've got to throw it every time, we got to do what we got to do.
Got to be able to protect Dawson a little bit, too. They've gotten good pressure on him, and Bradley's will bring those linebackers, as they do here. Bring the linebacker up on the line, 4-man front, low snap, looking, slant, Corum catches, first down at the 43-yard line of Bradley. And so the Admirals on a slant off the right side to Trace Corum, and they move it from their 39 to the Bradley 43.
Tanner Corum just low snap again, Eric, but he's able to get it, get the slant route to Trace Corum and move the chains.
101 yards passing now as Corum makes his first catch of the night. Good for 18 yards as Farragut picks up the initial first choice auto repair and service first down of the second half. 2 backs, but the Admirals run it with Moore, runs into his receiver, and he has a first down. But Brett, if he breaks it outside around the block, that's going to go for even more.
Well, also, Trace was just standing there, not blocking anybody. He runs into Trace. He's got tons of room, but give offensive coordinator Jeff Courtney some credit. He had a couple wrinkles in there the first couple plays, and it has shocked the Bears D.
It's a 17-yard gain, another first-choice auto repair and service first down as the Admirals went with a twin backs look, and they'll stay with that as Farragut's got Wallace, the tight end, as one of the running backs. Dion running behind him, left side, and Dion turns the corner, gets to about the 21-yard line. So that'll be a nice gain on first down for the Admirals out of the run game, a 6-yard gain, second down and 4.
Yeah, you remember, I do like the twin look. I really enjoy
that. Yeah, I haven't
that.
seen hardly any of that this year.
No, not. It's been a while, but good to see us. It keeps us balanced. We've got an injury. I think Dion's down.
Yeah, Dion Williams.
He's frustrated, and he's hurting that knee, it looks like.
Dion has endured so many injuries over his high school career. Yeah. Last year, we talked about he had a brace on almost every major joint. And maybe they're not really – maybe this is more of a contusion kind of situation, we hope. Offensive coordinator Jeff Courtney out there, as well as Farragut trainer Jessica Pearl and student trainer Kelsey Overall. May have taken a shot right on the kneecap.
Looked like he did, yeah.
So Tyler telling me that Aiden Smith wasn't even dressed. So that.
And you weren't told that in pre-production, were you?
No, I wasn't aware of that. In fact, I thought up on the video board too they had him. So Dion is up and stretching that leg out. There comes Coach Eddie Courtney out. Dion maybe be able to shake that off.
Yeah, you may be right. It may be a contusion type thing because it seems to be getting better all the time.
One of Farragut's better runs on first down tonight. 6-yard gain for Dion, running hard off the left side behind fellow back Jake Wallace, leading the way. It reminds me of Derek Harper back in about 2006 or so. They'd line him up like that at Farragut's tight end. Here's the Admirals handing to Matt White in the jet motion, coming left to right. Matt to the corner, never really got there, and Creighton escorts him out of bounds.
Yeah, run the jet sweep to Matthew, and he's not able to get much going there. They string it out. It's going to force a third and about 4.
I think he lost a yard. So that'll be the first rushing attempt of the night, and it's third down and 5 from the 22-yard line. So the Admirals have not been in the Matlock Tire red zone tonight. They were at the 21-yard line a moment ago, facing 2nd and 6. Now it's third down and 5 for the Admirals. They'll stay with the twin back set, and they give it to Schumann. No, they play faked it to him, and they throw it to the other back, who is the tight end, Wallace, sneaking out right side, and Farragut gets it down to about the 17-yard line.
It's a first down.
Is that enough?
Yeah, it's enough, Eric. It's a half yard enough. We know we love the little play action to Wallace. He's big, he's physical, he gets enough. Just enough for the first down, move the chains.
So the Admirals convert third down. They pick up a first-choice auto repair and service first down. They're 8th of the night, and they're in the red zone for the first time. And Wallace, with both of his catches, they have been third down conversions. And so Farragut from the 17-yard line. Bradley looked like they were offsides on the left edge. They give to Schumann running left for Farragut. Puts his foot in the ground. He's drawing a beat on the end zone, and he got there. Schumann stops on a dime and restarts going north and south after stretching the play east and west. And Schumann gives the Admirals the lead as he scores from 17 yards out.
Nice run there by Schumann. They get in the two running back set. Nice block there by Wallace, playing running back at the tight end position. Ooh, actually missed a clip, but I love it. Touchdown, Schumann.
And Bradley now has
the Bears shaking up.
2 plays after Farragut's Dion Williams was shaken up, Bradley now is looking at maybe a knee injury. And so their training staff, as well as head coach Damon Floyd, is on the field. So I hate to see that. But Farragut with the lead as Schumann Shea with the touchdown run. It was a Matlock Tire red zone conversion. Picked up first choice auto repair and service first down yardage and then some as Schumann scores from 17 yards out, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and we have the extra point pending. Farragut now in the red zone on the season is 30 of 33, having scored 25 touchdowns. So they came in scoring 91% of the time in the red zone. The injured Bear is up. That is the cornerback, Finn Mertens. And he is walking off under his own power. He's limping noticeably, but doesn't require assistance as far as not being able to put any weight on that injured knee. So the Admirals convert with the 17-yard touchdown run, and let's see. It's going to be Simeon Sharp. Yeah, so Keeney, something happened to Keeney on the first extra point. So Simeon Sharp, Farragut very fortunate to have another reliable kicker.
Yep.
Here's Simeon Sharp out of Brady Hodges' hold. Kanan Jackson snap. Sharp puts it up, puts it through. Farragut leads. Nice opening statement with the opening drive of the second half. 9:24 to play in the third quarter. Farragut goes 61 yards, caps it with a 17-yard touchdown run by Schumann Shea, and Farragut leads 14-10 here in the third quarter. Back with the kickoff after this as you listen to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
Hey, Rick Terry here with Rick Terry Jewelry Designs. We've gotten so many calls. Are you open? Are you doing jewelry work? And the answer is yes. Only a few small changes. Repair times are a little longer. Jewelry design consultations are done by appointment, but the same great service you've always expected is what you'll get. And in our brand new, totally redesigned jewelry store. It's spacious, clean, and safe. If you haven't been in, you've got to come see. Rick Terry Jewelry Designs, we want to be your jeweler.
So it'll be Simeon Sharp to kick it away for the Admirals, who lead 14-10 as they open the second half with a 61-yard drive, a 17-yard touchdown run by Schumann Shea. Big third down conversion on the 5-yard completion to Jake Wallace that got him into the red zone. And so now Simeon Sharp for, I believe, the second time tonight to kick off. I think Keeney handled the kickoff chores to begin. He'll pooch it near side. And Bradley lets it bounce, and they'll pick it up at the 12, and Farragut's Moses is all over. The ball is loose and out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Boy, for a moment, Brett, it was shades of last year. You might recall that to open the second half, Curry, their big receiver, fumbled the football. Cozy picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown.
Oh, that did happen. Yeah, I forgot about that play.
For a second, that ball is loose, and while it's not to open the second half, it's Bradley's first touch of the second half. Moses knocked it out, gave chase, but could not get to it before the ball caromed out of bounds, but the Bears will start from their 5-yard line.
And he did want to let it go out of bounds, but he couldn't take the risk because they were there, and it was right on the edge, so he picks it up. But you got to love it if you're Admiral Nation.
Really
right
well placed, really well placed kickoff by Simeon
And you could
Sharp.
tell he was talking to his guys like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. There was good coaching there.
McClary hands off, and Farragut swarms the ball carrier, who I gotta think is Burke. It is. And so Farragut's Eli Purcell.
Yeah, Eli's feeling it.
And Burke's a little slow to get. Burke goes back to the ground.
Uh-oh. And if he's out, Eric, that's going to be a big deal. Just hobbling a little bit on that ankle, but boy, to say he's a lot of their team, that is an understatement.
Yeah, Cannon Hall and Javon Burke, and he stumbled going off to the far sideline. I almost wonder, is that leg? I don't know if he's reacting to the discomfort of it all, or if he's maybe a little seeing some stars, perhaps.
Well, Cannon's a good player, you're right, but he's been pretty quiet tonight.
A loss of 1, second down and 11 from the 4. McClary's going to keep it. A hole is clogged by Fontenot. Spins away from the initial point of attack. Farragut strips the ball. Cozy's got it in the end zone. And they're going to say he was down. And I think that's the accurate call.
Yeah,
But,
if you're an Admiral Nation or you're calling the game as the voice of the ads like Eric Gerhardt, maybe, but that was definitely forward progress. But it's third down. Is that Burt coming back in the game?
It is.
I think it is. He's hobbling a bit, but he's back in, which is big news for them. But third down, 8 minutes left in the third quarter. 3rd and 6. Big play, Eric, early in the third.
Bradley's 1 of 6 on third down, so here it is. They'd be punting out of their own end zone if the Farragut defense can get off the field. Nussbaum and Purcell are those inside backers. Back to pass. McClary throws right. Ball's in the air. Incomplete. Boy, off the receiver's hands, and the Admirals, I thought for a moment, had a chance. It was Cannon Hall, who's the most reliable receiver on the team, couldn't make the catch. Maybe a little bit high, but...
now, that was his fault, Eric.
Yeah.
That was his sit-down route. He's got good hands. We'll watch the replay, but I think that was pretty much on him. Should have had it. I think it hit his shoulder pads.
So what a start to the second half for the Admirals.
Yeah, he's got to catch.
Yeah.
Now, he's a yard short, Eric, where he caught it, but does he get the first down? Who knows?
3 and out, and so now, these aren't the greatest punt snaps.
No.
And
No,
Bradley's
we've seen
punting
that.
from near the back of the end zone as the Admirals, Matt White awaits at the 40. Farragut doesn't bring any pressure. It's an end-over-end kick. Matt comes up and takes it at the 32-yard line to the near sideline. He'll be, not corralled. Heads back left. Don't block. Or clip. Now White slips one man, brings it back right. He's to the 25 and out of bounds at the 23. Well, you just got your entertainment dollar out of Matt White.
Well, he ran 49 yards, Eric. I think he only gained about a 12, but that was a lot of movement. You could feel Admiral Nation's fired up.
It's like, just don't block in the back.
Yeah, exactly, because you knew that was coming. But we've got the ball in the 23. You can't ask for much more.
Admirals, let's see if perhaps they look for the end zone on first down with all the momentum right now. You wouldn't necessarily call that sudden change, but you certainly feel like Big Mo is in all navy and gray. Deion Williams back in the ball game, standing off to the left of Dawson Moore as he moves Wallace to the left side of the formation. 2 receivers to that side, and they'll give to Deion. Deion running right, stiff arm, says get out of the way, and gets to the 20-yard line. Kens Hooper comes up and makes the tackle for Bradley, and Deion's a ginger. He's going to check out of the ball game. But a great stiff arm by Deion on the near sideline as he picks up 4.
Yeah, I think you're right, though, calling it on Deion. I think it was kind of a contusion thing back in there, but he looks like he's injured it again or still hobbling. Schumann comes in the football game on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, ball right on the right at the Matlock Tire red zone there at the 20-yard line. Locations on Kingston Pike near Level Road across from Costco and in Lenoir City, also now in Hardin Valley. Matlock Tire. 2nd down, here comes a blitz. Moore throws towards the end zone, and Farragut can't find it. Kiesling trying to find the ball, looking back over his shoulder, and Dawson took a hit as they brought a blitz off the right edge, and Farragut did not pick it up, and I'm not sure. That may have been Gage Anderson.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. That shows you got a quarterback, Eric. He knew he was going to get leveled. He stayed in the pocket, didn't look down, threw the ball, was hoping he had Kiesling in the slot, a little bit underthrown, but he gets popped. I like to see that out of my quarterback.
Here's 3rd down. The Admirals picked up the earlier one this quarter, so they're 2 of 6 in the ball game. 6:50 to go in the third quarter. Farragut leading Bradley 14-10. Admirals from the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 6. Handoff to Schumann. And nowhere to go. Bradley converges and drops him, and I believe it was C.J. Hardy yet again.
The guy's a problem, Eric.
Yeah.
He's a big problem. Very talented and athletic. But, boy, is this a big field goal here for our boy Simeon Sharp to make it a 7-point game.
So Simeon Sharp will attempt the field goal. He's 2 of 3 on the year, makes from 20 and 21, missed from 41.
39-yarder.
Hodges will hold. Kanan Jackson will snap the ball between the hashes. As from 39, Sharp puts his toe into it, and it's off to the left.
And the kick is no good.
So Farragut misses on a 39-yard try, and Admirals with all of that momentum scoring early in the second half and then holding Bradley 3 and out and starting the second possession from the Bradley 23. Can't get anything out of it. Could be a huge point in the ballgame for Bradley.
Yeah, you're right, because the momentum, as you said, Eric, was coming our way, and you felt it. The crowd's going nuts after Matt White zigging and zagging on the punt return. And then you get 3 yards out of it, and you miss a field goal, and now they're back on schedule. Big play for the Bears.
So it'll be the Bears running right with Javon Burke, or is that Wilson?
Yeah, it's Burke.
It's Burke. And so Burke moves from the 20. Corey Walker in on yet another tackle and just a 2-yard gain. And here early on, Brett, the run defense looks a whole lot better here in the second half.
Yeah, give the Admiral coaches some credit, offensively and defensive coaches, because they have made some good decisions and look better.
So 2nd down and 8 from the 22. Sharp coming left and makes the first man miss, but Farragut stays with it, but they whip him forward. I think that was Cozy on the tackle, perhaps. And, yes, it was Cozy. And he threw him forward from the 22-yard line to about the 26.
Yep, going to be had a lot of close games against these guys. Looks like we got it again. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. A big 3rd and 4, but the run defense, you're right, Eric, has been better in the third quarter.
So Bradley, 1 of 7 on 3rd down. Burke carried for 2, was thrown forward for 4 on 2nd. So 3rd down and 4 from the 26-yard line of Farragut as the Admirals lead it with 4:55 to go in the third quarter, 14-10. Carter Howard, the big tight end, will be split out wide right. 1 receiver left, and that's got to be Cannon Hall in the slot right side. Looking for Hall? No. Looking for somebody else. It's incomplete at the 37-yard line as Farragut had who? Was that Kuhn in coverage?
Yep.
Kuhn.
What a play by Kuhn. Unbelievable play by Camden Kuhn. It was good protection, a little rollout play action to the right. He tries to find the underneath guy dragging across, and Camden Kuhn right there to make a heck of a play, Eric. Just comes perfectly.
They were trying to get that to Wilson. Jackson Wilson was the intended receiver, but incomplete. And so a 3-and-out series, and the punt is away by Braden Clark. Matt White comes up, fields it, and is tagged immediately at the 47-yard line as the tackle was made, I believe, by Brody Perry, although I can't read the numbers.
Yeah, and when you talk about long snaps in the NFL, they always look at what that release is, how quick does it get back to the punter. Right. I'll tell you what, if they're doing a clock on the Bears snapper, you're going to need a sundial. It's taken a minute or 2 to get back there. And so I'm surprised we haven't even had a chance, and we've never tried to block it, but boy, it's taken forever.
Yeah. And we're a little bit spoiled watching Kanan Jackson
He's
because,
good.
boy,
He's
they get
good.
back there in a hurry. Farragut from the 48-yard line. Bradley showing pressure. Farragut runs wide, got around it with Moses. He's into Bradley territory at the 45 and has a first-choice auto repair and service. First down in front of the Bradley bench across the way at about the 41-yard line. That should be a gain of some 11 yards on the first carry of the ballgame for Sam Moses.
And, Eric, watch your boy Jake Wallace on this replay. Great block making the seal. He's had a couple good blocks in this 2 running back situation. Great block by him there. And then Moses seals it. Moses got to hold on to the football as he does there.
Creighton giving chase for Bradley in on the tackle. I believe he made the special teams hit on Matt White a moment ago. I believe it was 16, not 36. From the 41-yard line of Bradley, Farragut again goes with the split backs, and it'll be Moses running right and puts his head down and gets what he can, which is from the 41 to about the 39. It'll be 2nd down and 8, so Moses 2 carries, 13 yards on his first 2 rushing attempts of the ball game here on this, 3rd possession already of the second half for the Admirals.
Yeah, Dion a little banged up, so Moses, 3rd string, going to come in, get some running hard, good couple yards there on the 2-back set.
39-yard line, ball on the near hash. Farragut moving towards Rick Terry Jewelry Designs and VG's Bakery in this third quarter. As the Admirals with the split backs, 2 receivers left, 1 right. It'll be Moses taking the handoff, and he is wrapped up and thrown down. Good penetration one more time by defensive end Isaiah Arnold. And from the 39-yard line, Farragut loses back to the 42, a 3-yard loss.
Yep, Arnold and Hardy, big problems, as we've said all night. and they try to run the counter, Eric, and the big athletic front of the Bears, not fooled, not impressed, rips Moses down for a loss.
2 of 7 on third down. So here's Farragut with third down and 11 from its 42-yard line. 2:40 to play in the third quarter. The Admirals leading 14-10. The ball in the middle of the field. They'll stack receivers to each side. 2 apiece. Matt White standing behind Trace Corum to the near side. DeVault and Wallace to the far side. That's the side Moore looks to. Now motions for Wallace to head downfield. He does so. I think the ball came out. They're going to say incomplete, that he never put it away. Farragut's going to be called for a shift. Illegal shift.
I'm not so sure that wasn't a fumble, I'll be honest with you, but they call that an incomplete pass, or that would have been maybe Bear football. Like you said, illegal shift on the ads that they would, of course, declined.
Yeah, that's a fumble.
You know what, though? Yeah, he never got a hold of it.
Oh, okay, knocked it out of bounds.
The Bears, he never recovered that ball, and it went out of bounds, so it wouldn't have mattered.
But the ruling actually, I thought I saw the indication of incomplete, right?
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was incomplete is the call. So incomplete, so you just decline it, and now it's fourth down.
Well, so it turns out the blown call cost Farragut because he did catch it, he did fumble it. It was fumbled out of bounds, so the Bears should have taken the 5-yard penalty for the illegal shift, and it would have been third down.
You're right. Yeah,
but
it did hurt.
Instead, it's fourth down.
Yep.
I can't say that this crew has been overly impressive. This will be a snap back to Brady Hodges as he punts it away from the 42-yard line. Tries to hang it inside the 20. It takes a bounce at the 20, down to the 10. Farragut's all over it, rolls down to the 1. Beautifully done by Brady Hodges. Turned the nose of the ball down, bounced it at about the 18-yard line, I believe, and Farragut surrounded the football and waited for it to roll as close to the goal line as possible.
Wow, and I thought maybe he didn't get enough on it, Eric, because it lands on the, you called it, Eric, the 18-yard line, and then Foodie just waits like an elegant duck and just falls right there on the half-yard line. Let's see if we can get something going. The defense has definitely been better against Burke and the Bear Bunch offense. See if we can make something happen here on the edge of the goal line.
That is inside the 20 for the 4th time this season for Hodges, and the first time in a while. And so it's Bradley starting from its 1-yard line as the Bears will go under center with McClary, and Farragut's Corey Walker wraps him up, throws him back. Keep in mind, Brett, in the season opener, Farragut got a safety on that same end of the field. It was Dawson Brown credited with a sack when McClary grounded a ball in the end zone.
Wow, I'm not sure he got that much.
That is generous.
That's a real generous on a sneak where he doesn't get much. They say he gains 1.5 yards at least. Debatable.
It's 2nd and 9.
All right, so McClary sets him up 2nd down and 9, so he will no longer be under center, and he'll have Javon Burke standing off to his left as the snap comes back, hands it to Burke. Coons spying on him, so he cuts it back inside, and Cozy gets him down, but at the 11, that's probably going to be a first down.
Yeah, that's disappointing, Eric, because you have him backed up, and Burke picks a hole and finds enough. Well, it's real close, but they're going to eyeball it like they do. First down.
9 yards and a first-choice auto repair and service first down. 193 yards rushing on 24 carries now for Burke as they move it out to the 11-yard line, picking up the first-choice auto repair and service first down, the first of the second half for the Bears, the 8th of the ball game. Ball is on the near hash as they move right to left. Man comes in motion, and we got flags being thrown. Coon's going to make the tackle. Mason Collins helping out as well, but Burke gets not much, maybe 1 yard coming to the near sideline. You got to think this is the first flag of the night against Bradley.
Yeah, I'm usually the one on the refs. Eric's already on them. They have not been great.
Well,
gain a couple yards. Legal shift on the Bears.
First impressions, right? And when Farragut hands you the football and you say it's Bradley Central's ball instead,
it's not a good look.
It's not a favorable first impression.
No. First impressions are key. You're right. So we're going to take the penalty, 1st and 15.
Actually, I think we may take the play.
Oh, we're declining it. Wow, interesting.
Take the play. So Burke gained 1. It's 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, we're going to take 2nd and 8.5. Okay.
2nd and 8.
from the 13-yard line. Burke off to the left of McClary to bring a man in motion. McClary setting up the screen to Burke. Farragut's main is there, slips a tackle, and then powers his way out to the 24. Burke, man, he made something out of absolutely nothing. Farragut seemed to have him corralled, and he showed good leg drive to be no bigger than he is. And so the screen works to perfection as they move from the 13 to the 24.
And give them credit. Matt White comes in the game. 1 quarter left, really. You got to get your stars in the game. And what an unbelievable screen. Looks like we read it well. Burke, patience, fakes a few guys out, and then, like you said, finishes it well, Eric, with a physical run at the end.
Yeah, got out to the 24 for the First Choice Auto Repair and Service first down. Check out firstchoiceautomotivefarragut.com. Check out Eli Purcell on the tackle. Wow.
I can't say enough about Eli Purcell as the third quarter ends. Off right tackle, playing off one angle, 6'2", 235 pounds, committed to Furman. The guy's incredible. Great tackle for loss.
Purcell with an emphatic exclamation point. I don't know if there's any other type of exclamation point, but on the third quarter, it was a pretty good quarter for the Admirals, who opened with a 61-yard drive, a 17-yard touchdown run by Schumann Shih that put them in front 14-10. They missed a field goal, but they've got the Bears right now facing second down and I think about 13, 14 yards to go after a big play by Eli Purcell brings the third quarter to an end. We're back with the fourth in 1 minute as you listen to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
The grocery store, work, taking the kids to school. Your family makes thousands of stops each year, and with each stop, you're counting on your tire's grip to stop you safely. So make Matlock Tire your next stop. Let their experts make sure you have the tires that are up to the task, like the new Michelin Premier All-Season Tire, which has excellent gripping power on wet roads even when warm. So stop by Matlock Tire today and make every stop count.
Go in the extra mile, Matlock Tire.
In Farragut, Maryville, Lenore City, Athens, and Hardin Valley.
Hey, folks, you're listening with Ted Russell Nissan, and it's a buyer's market. That means you can trade up to a new Nissan and keep the same payment or even less. And most customers can do it with no money down. Huge discounts, large rebates, more for your trade-in, and less for our new Nissan so that you can get the payment you need on the Nissan you want. And remember, nobody can sell you the same new Nissan for less than Ted Russell Nissan. That's why we're Knoxville's volume dealer. Ted Russell Nissan, right here in beautiful West Knoxville, Kingston Pike.
Ted Russell Nissan. We got it going on.
On the first play of the fourth quarter, they go over the middle to Javon Burke, who gets loose for a 16-yard gain to the 39, a First Choice Auto Repair and Service first down. So the ball in the middle of the field, and Bradley moving left to right as we get this fourth quarter started. Hand off to Burke, and this time the Admirals are right there to tag team tackle the talented running back with Corey Walker and Joe Main.
11 minutes left in the game. Maybe our season, Eric, as the Bears are marching for maybe a touchdown to go ahead. Big series here, big quarter here to stay alive.
From the 38-yard line, second down and 11. The Bears with a receiver and a H-back to the left, two receivers right, back to pass. McClary lets it go deep. Farragut's in great position. Mason Collins cannot make the interception. Wow. Collins drew a beat on it, and Brett, I would have sworn we were about to see interception number 7 from the junior on the season, but broken up, incomplete.
I'll tell you what, though, I know he didn't come up with it, but he's really getting comfortable in the secondary. We've talked about the game slowing down for Moore. It slowed down for Collins. Coverage was incredible. He knew where the ball was, just didn't make the play.
Yep, just dropped it at the end, but they've done a nice job tonight on Cannon Hall.
They have.
Knock on wood. He's only got one catch for 15. Here's third down for the Bears. They are 1 of 8 on third down. Third down and 11 as the crowd comes to life. Back to pass, McClary throws, snuck a man out. That was Burke, left side. He's got first down yardage, and the Admirals sling him out of bounds at the 38. But they're able to find the running back, Burke, and they move from the 38 of Bradley to about the 38 of Farragut. A 24-yard gain and a First Choice Auto Repair and Service first down.
Yeah, and you've just got a key on him. He's their bell cow. They fake the run to Javon Burke, and then people just don't stay with him, and he's wide open on the little wheel route, Eric.
from the 38-yard line. They'll throw
Double
the lateral, and it'll be Hall throwing, and it's a duck, and Farragut's Foodie is going to intercept it. They wind up and they throw the receiver pass as they threw the lateral to the left side, and I believe it was Cannon Hall who was a backup quarterback, and it just came out of his hand ugly, and Logan Foodie, recognizing the play, staying home, makes the pick, his third of the season.
Yeah, that's why he's the backup quarterback. That was a terrible throw, and Foodie read it well, makes a great catch. Interception, huge for the Ads.
First turnover of the ball game as Logan Foodie with the interception. Last week he had the pick 6 at Jefferson County, and tonight comes up with Farragut's first takeaway of the night. Farragut's now plus 11 on the season as the Admirals will start from the 12-yard line. Handoff to Schumann. No, Dawson kept it, running right. Dawson to the far sideline, out of bounds at about the 17-yard line, which will set them up second down and 5.
Yep, Schumann runs the read, and it was not open. Nice job by Dawson by keeping it, and he gets 5 on first down.
23 yards rushing on 5 attempts for quarterback Dawson Moore tonight. Haven't seen Matt White in the shotgun. That was, again, the split back sets for the Admirals, and so they gave the look that they were running Schumann behind Wallace to the left and came back with Dawson reading it, I suppose. I don't think it was a straight keep. And so second down and 5 from the 17-yard line. Matt White comes in motion, takes the handoff. Matt stops, puts his foot in the ground, and just tries to get back to the line of scrimmage. They've run Matt twice in jet motion, and both plays have lost yardage.
Yeah, except for the big post route, Eric. They've been pretty good on Matt, but they've been big post route where he got him for 70-something. But that one, the jet sweeps have not been there.
Third down and 6 yards to go as Farragut loses 1. And so 2 of 8 on third downs, and the Admirals facing third down and 6.5 yards to go after getting the takeaway with Logan Foodie's third interception. Admirals now with a single back, Schumann Shih, off to the right of Moore. Low snap, Moore looking right, throwing out pattern, overshot his intended receiver across the way. And I think that was Matt White. Incomplete, and so Farragut cannot capitalize following the turnover.
Yeah, the another low snap. We've had quite a few of them with your backup center in. Threw up the timing a little bit, and it was an out route to Matt White. He's open, Eric, and just overthrown.
So here's Brady Hodges. Different situation here. Now you want some serious carry out of a punt as Bradley looks like they're bringing heat from the 16-yard line. Brady's punt hangs up in the air. Burke settles under it and makes a fair catch at the 39-yard line. So about the 16, right? Yeah, 16 to the, they'll say 40-yard line. So that's a 44-yard punt by Brady Hodges and no return. He's done a good job tonight.
Yeah, you're talking about our snapping and punting. We just do it differently. That was just fantastic. Great punt.
Lead as Farragut, that 4-man front. They hand it off to Burke. Farragut again misses 2 tackles, and now Burke is down at the 34-yard line. Just a wake of missed tackles behind Burke as he picks up 4.
Yeah, I mean, Eric, 3 times in a row, he's probably missed broke 7 tackles in those 3 plays.
Second down from the Farragut 33-yard line. Carter Howard, the tight end, sets up off the left side for Bradley. They hand it off to Burke running that way, and he stretches forward. Did the ball come out, or was he simply extending it? He was simply extending it across the 30 to the 29, and so that's going to be a 5-yard gain. It'll bring up third down and short, 1.5.
Yeah, 3rd and 2, you have got to find a way to make somebody else beat you. Burke is just too talented, too good, too patient, too quick and fast of a running back.
So they converted third a moment ago. Here's third down and 2 from the 29-yard line as a flag comes in.
There's a flag on the play.
And maybe somebody flinched along the offensive line for Bradley because Farragut jumped, but they didn't get into the neutral zone. There he goes. Somebody saw something and
Big.
moved.
That's big, Eric.
That is the first penalty of the ball game that's accepted against Bradley, the second time a flag's been thrown on him.
Wow.
It's 3rd and 7.
But 3rd and 7, a lot different than 3rd and 2, Eric. 7 minutes left in this game. Biggest play of the game so far.
Back him up to the 34-yard line. Ball on the far side hash. Bradley moving left to right as Howard, the tight end, sets up behind the right side of the offensive line. McClary looking left, throws, and Farragut's Mason Collins makes the tackle across the way on Cannon Hall. Held him short at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, and it's a, Eric, it's a 46-yard field goal. 6 minutes, 45 seconds left. You got to go for it. You're down 4 for many reasons.
From the 29, 4th down and 2. The Bears 0 of 2 on 4th down tonight. McClary takes the snap, looks, throws, complete, and was that Burke?
Yep.
It was. It was Burke, knocked out of bounds by Purcell, and he got just enough. Move it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of a roughly 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards through the air. First choice auto repair and service first down.
Yeah, the play action, I was surprised they didn't actually run it with Burke, but you knew they were going to him, and they just get him out of the backfield. It's hard for any linebacker to stay with him. Good call by the Bears offense.
Yep. So they move the chains on the 4th down conversion, their first of the night. They're now 1 of 3 on 4th downs, and this will be the sweep to Burke, and he's stacked up at about the 21-yard line. I think Purcell was in on the tackle. Corey Walker pursuing as well. Camden Kuhn was there. I think Kuhn and Purcell primarily. And so from the 25-yard line, move it down to about the 22. 227 yards rushing.
After what we went through back in 16, Eric, I can go through anything, I think, at this point. But the emotions are there. There's no doubt about it right now.
Clock is down to 6 minutes to play. Farragut trying to protect this 4-point cushion as Bradley has it on the cusp of the red zone to the 22. 2nd down. They hand it off to Wilson. Big hole up the middle, and he's powering his way down inside the 10 to about the 8. And now the rugby scrum. And Farragut comes out of there with a football. It's Matt White. And, I mean, if you're going to allow the scrum to go that long. Wow.
Now, see, that one they didn't call dead, and he's still moving. And then Matt comes out of the – oh, man.
From the 22-yard line.
And Carter is down on the play, Nussbaum.
A move for a first choice auto repair and service first down on the run by Wilson as he goes from the 22 apparently down to the 8, maybe the 7, call it the 7. And so a 15-yard run easily, his best of the night. In fact, his 2 previous carries had been negative yardage plays.
We seem so shocked he got the ball, Eric. I mean, it's been Burke, and Wilson has not done much. Surprised they gave it to him, but he does something there.
Yeah, ran hard and was battling for more yardage, and they were allowing the play to go on, and then Farragut comes out of there with a football, and then they say, no, the play is dead. And I don't know. I mean, I just watched the replay. I mean, was anybody? Obviously, you can't hear the whistle, but the pile was continuing to move, and Matt White stripped the football, came out of there as a Farragut supporter. You want to see him get the takeaway, of course. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit biased.
As we should be.
1st and goal from the 7 as Bradley is 2 of 2 in the red zone tonight. A touchdown and a field goal. The Bears will bring Burke in motion. McClary keeps it up the middle, and McClary has the touchdown. So the quarterback keeps it and runs it up the middle for his 7th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yep, Eric, the zone read, and the quarterback, not great runner, but effective when he does do it. Up the middle, breaks a tackle, scores for the Bears, and I'm sad.
3 of 3 in the Matlock Tire red zone. Matlock Tire locations on Kingston Pike, near Level Road, across from Costco, as well as in Lenoir City, and now in Hardin Valley, as the Bears convert on the red zone trip. And now the extra point is up and good by Grant Haney. Newsbaum, by the way, looked like it was an ankle injury that he was shaken up on the play prior to the touchdown run by McClary. But quarterback Aiden McClary gives Bradley Central a 17-14 lead with 5:29 to play in this first-round playoff matchup. We'll get a break and return with a kickoff on the other side as you listen to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
105.3 WFIV, Loudon, Farragut, Lenore City.
Shop Farragut wishes you and the entire Admiral Sports Nation much success and happiness this exciting season and reminds you to shop Farragut all year long. Your Farragut retailers, restaurants, and service providers have worked hard to make your shopping easy and a bargain. Follow Shop Farragut on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get all of the deals and discounts you need. Go Admirals!
5:29 to play with the season on the line. The Admirals trailing Bradley Central at home 17-14 as the Bears just polished off a 60-yard drive with a 7-yard keeper by quarterback Aiden McClary, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And now it will be Grant Haney to pooch kick it away. He sends it down to Mason Collins at the 16-yard line. Mason may have dropped the football. No. Okay.
That's the first thing I thought too, Eric. I thought he may have dropped it. I also thought he maybe had a crease, but it gets stopped quickly. This is it, Eric. 5:24 left in the football game. You've got the ball in your own 29. You're down 3 timeouts. A lot of time left, but need it right here.
And the kickoff brought to you by Valerie Thompson, your RE/MAX home specialist. Visit ValerieThompson.com to list your home or view Knoxville area homes for sale. So the Admirals, ball on the near hash, moving right to left. Hand off to Schumann Shea, looking to get wide right. Gets north and south at the 30 and gets to about the 34-yard line. So a gain of 5 on first down for Schumann, who has 39 yards rushing tonight on 12 carries. He's done better. 2 of his 3 carries have been productive here in the second half after averaging only 2 yards per carry in the first half. Now Schumann limps off. Sam Moses checks into the ballgame. So we've seen Nussbaum, who's playing injured, come off. Schumann. Dion has been shaken up, and so here's Moses checking back into the ball game for the Admirals. He stands off to the left of Dawson Moore, junior signal caller, as Farragut faces 2nd and 5. Bradley's got the snap count timed well. Backside screen, and Bradley's all over it. Well done as Farragut tried to go to the tight end Wallace, and I think Creighton, that Will Backer, who's the leading tackler on the season, may have been in on the play.
Yeah, the little backside tight end throw, which was not a bad idea because we do that rollout often. He tried to come back to the athletic tight end, Jake Wallace. Nothing doing there.
Looks like it lost 2 yards, so here's 3rd down and about 7 yards to go for the Admirals, as Farragut's only converted 2 on the night, 2 of 9 on 3rd down. So 3rd down, about 7 to go, 4 minutes to play in this one, as the Admirals' Dawson Moore takes the snap, looks right, throws, and Trace Corum with the first down catch. Corum, how about a little toe tap across the way as the Admirals move the chains from the 32-yard line out to the 44.
Yeah, nothing's going to match what we saw in 16, but that was scary, Eric. 3rd down, the throw was a little bit outside. Great catch by Trace. Gets both feet in the NFL style. Move the chains.
11-yard gain. First Choice Auto Repair and Service. First down. Check out First Choice Automotive Knoxville.com or First Choice Automotive Farragut.com. Sam Moses running left and pushing the pile a little bit himself. Close to first down yardage as Farragut running left behind who they have in there at left guard. Looks like it's Nathan Harville, the freshman, and, of course, Carter Sherman, the left tackle, as Farragut gains 8 with Sam Moses.
That was scary, though, Eric. I'll tell you what, if you're watching on the monitor, that ball was close to coming out, and he almost barely got it from Dawson. But nice 8-yard gain. Got to hold on to that football.
Down to 3.5 minutes with the clock rolling. Farragut trailing 17-14. Moving towards Brickhouse Collectibles in West End Shopping Center. Moore steps up in the pocket. Nice composure, throws, hits his man. That's going to be Corum. Corum at the 30, down to the 20, and to the 19-yard line goes Corum as the Admirals move from the 48 down to the 20, 28-yard gain to Corum, and again, great composure by Moore.
That's exactly right, Eric. Composure. Even directed Trace to come back to him and is about to get hit, and he makes the throw. Dawson, a real leader, really grown up through these 11 games.
So Corum with the catch, his third of the night rather, and it'll be Farragut handing off to Moses. He's giving ground and cannot outrun the defensive end, and will go down back at the 25-yard line.
There he goes again. Arnold and Hardy are problems.
Yep.
And they do it again.
5-yard loss. Moses trying to give ground and get the corner, but he was just tripped up by Isaiah Arnold, and it's 2nd down and 15 as the ball's moved back to the 25.
And you're down 3, Eric. Your kicker, who got hurt, and Simeon had just missed it way left on his last one.
Right.
Something to think about.
DeVault comes in motion left to right. Wallace is set up as the tight end to the left. He's going out on a pass route. Actually, he's blocking for Moses on the screen. Moses to the 20, down to the 15. That'll set up 3rd down and about 4 or 5 yards to go for the Admirals.
Yeah, I can't breathe. But 3rd and 5. Nice little screen to Moses. Moses has got a little giddy up when he gets going. But 3rd down. Do we try a field goal if you don't get it here? Probably. But you'd love to pick this 1st down up, Eric. That's what you want.
They're in the Matlock Tire red zone, where they came close on a previous possession, did not quite get in the Matlock Tire red zone, so they're 1 of 1 on the night. 3rd down, 6 yards to go from the 16-yard line, and they'll run Moses to the right. Moses gets to the 15 and no farther, a gain of 1. It's going to be 4th down.
Interesting call, Eric. 3rd and 6, and they run the football. 1:22 left in this football game.
Ball on the far side hash for a right-footed kicker. You got to hook it.
Which he did drastically on the last one, but oh boy, Eric.
Would be a 32-yard attempt.
Very makeable for him. Plenty of leg. Oh. Boy.
Timeout on the field with 1:22 to play. And Tyler, what do you have?
Guys, I'm not I don't claim to be John Madden, but right now Coach Courtney still has the offense on the field, and so it would not surprise me if they try to draw him off sides, get the 5 yards, and then possibly burn another timeout.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The only thing about that, Tyler, is if you do that, you waste your 2nd timeout. You just wasted your 1st. You're pretty much sealing the deal. Now, have we been great at this? We have. And the jump here would be huge.
And Bradley, as I said earlier, they've been really good at timing the snap up all night long. And so,
but you've got an aggressive front, right? So that's something that's possible. I mean, maybe they don't trust the kicker. I don't know.
There'll be 2 receivers to each side. Schumann Shea is back in the offensive backfield. As from the 15-yard line, 4th down and 5, the Admirals barking. Moore looks to the sideline as Bradley isn't biting. Would be a 32-yard field goal. Wallace is going to reset off Carter Sherman at left tackle. They snap it. Moore looking right, throws out pattern, high, incomplete. Trying to go to Corum, and the ball was delivered high, incomplete, and Bradley will take over on downs.
Yep, we decide, we've been known for good kickers. There's no doubt about it, and I have trust in our kickers, but we decide not to try to tie it with the field goal, 32-yarder, as we said. And it is, I guess we've got a couple good kickers. The first one obviously went out, Eric, like I said. You've got some time, Eric, 3 and out. You're going to have a little bit of time here. Not a ton, under a minute, but you got to get a stop.
Admirals come up empty in the red zone as they roll the dice on 4th down. And so Bradley takes over at its 15-yard line. And they will give the ball to Burke. No surprise. And Farragut corrals him and throws him down. Carter Nussbaum, who was shaken up earlier with an ankle injury, is back in the ball game.
I hate to echo you, Eric, but Walker just got held miserably. This group is terrible.
Joe Main and Corey Walker have been held in the middle of that line a lot tonight when we checked the monitor. But
and they haven't even been hard ones. It's when they get by him and they're pulling them down. That's terrible. But we got to have 2 more stops, Eric. There's probably time-wise going to be, if you get a stop, only about 45 seconds, I think. About 40, 45.
2nd down. I mean, I'm not sure. Let's see.
It's going to be less than that.
30. Yeah.
It's going to be 30 or 35.
So the Admirals with 1 timeout remaining, right?
Yep.
Scoreboard showing 2. Bradley's got its full complement, so.
We used that one on 4th down.
Right.
Yeah, I know we did.
Just making sure that Bradley didn't call it to talk over defense, but they're still showing that it was 3 for Bradley, so they just haven't taken the one off the board for Farragut yet. So the Admirals are down to their last timeout. It's 2nd down and 11 from the 15-yard line as the Bears, maybe more like the 14-yard line, as the Bears will have McCleary keeping it, and Farragut got him out of bounds.
He's out of bounds.
There you
Eric,
go.
That's huge, Eric.
Matt White and Joe Main push McCleary out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock with 1:07 to play.
Eric, I'll be honest with you, that is so stupid.
Yeah.
To get out of bounds there. You're going to give yourself a 35 seconds now, and I'll tell you what, it goes back to those snaps. That snap takes about 5 seconds, okay? That is the worst snap I've seen this year in high school football on the punt. So you're going to get a timeout here, a minute left in the game. But, Eric, let's don't put the cart before the horse.
Got to get a stop.
Get a stop now.
Got to get a stop. So Bradley facing 3rd down. They've only converted 2 on the night in 10 opportunities. They'll hand it to Burke. Coming near side. Farragut's Matt White trying to get there. Forces him back inside to Foodie. And here comes Purcell.
Timeout. Timeout.
58 seconds to play. So Matt White got in, slowed him up. Great effort by the Farragut safety. And Foodie then forced him farther back in. Woo! And Eli Purcell cleans things up back at the 15-yard line. And so it's a 4-yard loss.
And I don't want a roughing, obviously. That's the last thing you want. But, man, it takes so long to get back there. Do you try it, or do you set up the return for one of the best athletes in this area? And Matt's a little bit dinged up, actually.
Yeah.
I can tell he's struggling a bit, but he's out there on the return. But they might try to block this, Eric. You would think you would, for many reasons.
Well, you can't, roughing would be an automatic first. If you just run into,
I know, it's scary.
It's enough yardage that you wouldn't give them a first on running into.
But the punts have been so bad, Matt may grab it at the 40, you know what I mean? I mean, there may be a heck of a return here, too. I don't know. It's their decision, Eric. I could argue either way.
So Farragut will have Matt White waiting at the 47-yard line with 58 seconds to play, awaiting the punt from Braden Clark.
I think they're going to get it, Eric. I think they're going to go to get it.
They've got Aranda showing that he might come. They get the punt away. Matt White asks for a fair catch at the 44-yard line. Farragut will take over at the Bradley 44-yard line as White waved the hand at the very last instant, and with 52.9 seconds to play, the Admirals season out of timeouts. Admirals season hangs in the balance as they trail by 3.
You kind of surprised, Eric, that he called the fair catch. I can hear it in your voice. I was a little surprised myself, but let's not kid ourselves. The ball has to go to number 20.
Kiesling and White are in the slots. DeVault and Corum are outside as Moore rolls left, throws incomplete, looking for Matt White.
Yep. Roll out to the left, Eric, the 2-man route. One to find Matt. And just overthrown and a little bit outside. He's had a few of those tonight.
2nd down and 10, 48.8 seconds to play. Schumann Shea in the backfield with Dawson Moore. I think normally they'd like to have Dion in there as far
blocking.
as
Right.
pass protection goes.
Right.
2 receivers to each side for Moore. Snap comes back from Sintel, looking right, throwing, and almost intercepted. Farragut almost saw its season come to an end on a one-handed interception by Javon Burke, but he could not make the grab, and it'll be 3rd down. I'd like to see maybe Kiesling over the middle.
Yeah, I'd like to see us work the middle, Eric. We've worked the outside, both 1st and 2nd. And Javon Burke, I know he's only one of 22 players out there on offense and defense.
Doesn't feel that way, does it?
Doesn't feel that way. He's all over the place. I'm kind of tired of him.
So it's 3rd down for the Admirals, and this has been a tough down for them tonight. as they scrimmage from their 44-yard line. 3rd down and 10. Bradley was right defensive end, was lined up offsides. Moore looking, throws. DeVault makes the catch at the 28-yard line. That should stop the clock to move the chains.
It does. Relax, guys. Relax.
Farragut will spike it to stop it. And there you go. So
Nice job.
down to the, I said 28, I believe it's a 33.
Now, the interesting thing, Eric, if you get down to the same situation, you just told your kicker you don't want to kick a 32-yard field goal to tie the ball game. Now, that might change here in a bit as you get down there.
So the Admirals overcome the 3rd down. They pick up the first choice auto repair and service 1st down, and now here's Moore on 2nd down, and Farragut dropped it on the near sideline. But incomplete, stops the clock, 32 seconds to play.
I would argue if he doesn't catch that, Eric, or if he does catch that and doesn't get out of bounds, that's probably worse for you. So you either get out of bounds or you drop that.
It's 3rd down. Admirals trailing 17-14. 32 seconds to play. 3rd down and 10 from the 33-yard line of Bradley. Back to passes. Moore has some time, looks right, throws, and Farragut had 2 receivers in the neighborhood. I think he was probably going to White, and Kiesling crossing in front deflected the pass thinking it was intended for him, and it goes incomplete.
See, and now it's a 50-yard field goal from here. He's already missed 1, and you didn't want to kick it on a 32-yard field goal. So
4th down and 10. Ball on the near hash. Here's the season.
Yeah, here's the season.
From the 33-yard line, the Admirals will have trips right. DeVault's the lone receiver to the left. Back to passes. Moore under pressure, throws over the middle. Matt White at the 23-yard line and gets down to the 20. They said he dropped the football. It's Bradley's football. Matt White battling to get 1st down yardage, lost the football, and Bradley Central comes up with it.
Is that true, Eric? I mean, I thought there was no chance Matt White catches that football in traffic. I thought the season was over with, period. And Matt White somehow snags it in that big zone and gets the 1st down, but they're going to say he fumbled this on, wow.
Down at the 22-yard line.
Wow, I would love to throw the challenge flag, but you can't.
Well, I mean, Matt's body language, I think, kind of told you all you needed to know. That his disappointment, there wasn't any protest there. It was just disappointment.
And he was churning those legs right at the end. He already had the 1st down, but we're going to catch the replay right here, Eric, I think. Wow.
Great effort by Matt White, trying to make sure he had the 1st down yardage. Matt snares it away from 2 defenders, gets forward, and I think
he did.
May have been Creighton maybe that reached in and knocked it loose, and Bradley takes over. Farragut's out of timeouts, and the Bears have 18 seconds to play in this ballgame. They go into victory formation, and so Bradley is going to survive and advance. It'll be their first playoff win in a few years. And they take their time getting to the ground, so Farragut comes in and Cozy applies the pressure, and they take the knee back at about the 17-yard line. And that should do it. So the Bears are able to get the playoff victory and end a string of misery against Farragut. The Admirals, I don't know if it was 12 or 13, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 straight they had won over Bradley. But the Bears get the win tonight. They improved to 8-3, and they move on to the 2nd round where they will play at Maryville next Friday night. Maryville did not play tonight. Science Hill had a COVID cancellation. And so it'll be Bradley taking on Maryville. Bears led Maryville at halftime when they played them in the regular season. And for Farragut, their season comes to an end at 7-4. Terribly disappointing as Farragut, unable to rally late, gave themselves every opportunity. And then Matt White, one of the blood and guts leaders of this team, and has been just such an outstanding contributor for Farragut for 3 seasons. And he fumbles trying to make sure he had the 1st down yardage. You hate it, but at the same time, this was a season that we've said all along, a season that we weren't sure how much we'd get to see, and for the Admirals to get in a full season, you're happy for them, just disappointed, obviously, on this night. And so congratulations to Coach Floyd and the Bears as, again, they pick up the victory and they move on to the second round, heading to Maryville next Friday night. We'll get a 2-minute break. We've got our Pilot Rewards postgame show coming up on the other side as Farragut falls tonight to Bradley Central. The Bears get it done 17-14 as 2 7-3 teams, but it's the Bears who march on to the second round. We're back with more after this as you listen to Farragut Football presented by Pilot Food Marts on 105.3 WFIV.
We're all paying attention to social distancing and cleanliness these days, and your nearby Pilot Food Mart has got you covered. Every Pilot has a sanitation station. You'll find masks and hand sanitizer to help keep you and your family safe. While you're there, get your Pilot My Rewards card. It's good for 3 cents a gallon off Pilot gas and in-store specials. Your neighborhood Pilot Food Mart. We're right on your way.
Here at the Mike Dyer Agency, we know insurance coverage options can be overwhelming. That's why we partner with Nationwide to help you find the best protection for you and your family's needs. Give us a call today at 865-966-2111 to learn more, or visit our website at MikeDyerInsuranceAgency.com. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Brickhouse Collectibles Hobby Shop is your headquarters for your favorite Lego sets, new and old, comic books, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, sports cards, games, statues, and whatever cool things we can find for you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at Brickhouse Collectibles. We're located at 163 West End Avenue in Farragut, open 7 days a week. Discover a world of fun that awaits you at Brickhouse Collectibles. Call today 865-392-1092 or email us at info@brickhousecollectibles.com.
Hey, Rick Terry here with Rick Terry Jewelry Designs. We've gotten so many calls. Are you open? Are you doing jewelry work? And the answer is yes. Only a few small changes. Repair times are a little longer. Jewelry design consultations are done by appointment, but the same great service you've always expected is what you'll get. And in our brand new, totally redesigned jewelry store. It's spacious, clean, and safe. If you haven't been in, you've got to come see. Rick Terry Jewelry Designs, we want to be your jeweler.
Every night is Friday night without you.
And welcome back in to our Pilot Rewards postgame show from the press box atop Eddie Courtney Stadium, where tonight the Admirals fall to Bradley Central 17-14 in the opening round of the 2020 playoffs. Not sure if Tyler's going to have an opportunity to talk with a coach or anyone, but I tell you, it's been a pleasure covering this team, and also too, we've missed out this year on doing the player interviews for home games up here in the press box. Tyler has taken care of that for us on the field, as everything's a little bit different in this era of COVID. But as always, very impressed by this group of guys, and certainly this senior class. Very well spoken, obviously tremendously intelligent, thoughtful group. Always say the right things. And I just hate to see it come to an end, but that's the playoffs. It's cruel. As the Bears are the team tonight that survives and advances, they will play Maryville next Friday night over at Maryville High School. The Bears now 8-3 on the season. Farragut wraps things up 7-4, and I think Coach Courtney heading perhaps Tyler's way, and so we'll get a word from Coach here in just a moment. But I know he's proud of this group, and you think about the effort that was out there tonight with Matt White on that final play, but also too Carter Nussbaum playing through injury, Eli Purcell playing through injury, and you hate it so much for the seniors that missed the last couple of games because of contact tracing. So anyhow, we're going to throw it down to Tyler without further ado, since he is Coach Courtney is standing by. And
Coach Courtney, it's that time of year where we talk at the end of the year, and knowing the man that you are and knowing how good you've been to me the short time we've known each other, I know that you're about to tell me that this is not the end for any of these young men, that they are on a journey that they're going out to the real world, and they're going to go out there and they're going to be successful because of what they've learned here today. But I want to hear what you've got to say about the 2021 class of Farragut High School.
Oh gosh, those guys started back in December, getting ready to play football, and then with COVID coming in, they all summer long they did what they had to do. So we kept playing. We got to play 10 regular season games, and most teams didn't get to do that. But I think you're going to see the future of these bunch. There's going to be several of those guys have a chance to play in college. I really believe that. Recruiting's been slow because of COVID, but I project 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 of those guys will get a chance to play college football, a special group, and just how they held things together. And so tonight is a very big disappointment for all of us. We felt like we could make a further run into playoffs. And so, again, I love these guys, and I appreciate all the effort they give, not only this year, but what they've done the last 4 years here in our program.
And there's something about this team, I've sort of dubbed them the legacy class, because it seems like there are numerous guys on this team that their older brothers played here, whether it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. Yeah. I believe that their older brothers will be able to put their arms around them tonight and say, I'm proud of the legacy that you've helped keep going at Farragut. Can you talk a little bit about some of those guys and what they mean to this program?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Carrie. You saw a lot of those guys on the sideline tonight over there, and just come back. But again, this group, I think, really kept things going. You know, the 3 games we lost the regular season were all the region champs or region runner-ups, and so we knew that. We felt like we had a good playoff team to go somewhere in the playoffs. But again, how they've held together through all this. We had a few of those guys couldn't play tonight because of COVID. That were seniors. My heart goes for those guys, that, even though they never tested, just because of quarantine they had to be. But again, they kept, like I said, it's just hard to say right now, and that's why I don't ever really talk to them till Tuesday. Gets a chance to really sit in as a group, just the seniors and the coaches. Tonight, they're not sure. They're not aware. They're out there on the star right now, and they know how much that means. But it hadn't really sunk in. They get up here in the locker room, take their pads off for the last time.
And, of course, there's a lot of underclassmen on this team that performed very well for you a lot this year. I mean, you look at names like Dawson Moore, who came out here as a junior tonight on the offensive line. You had a freshman playing a lot of minutes. You had some sophomore here. It's not like you're going to be going up there next week, going to your roster and saying, we're starting over, because there's a lot of guys on this team that have played a lot of good football and have a lot of good days ahead for the Farragut Admirals.
And I think they saw the example these seniors did for us. They know what the expectations are in the weight room, in practice, and certainly in games. They really do. So you're right. That carries on a lot of weight there for them. We're glad about those guys. But, again, tonight it's their night, these seniors, and because of their legacy, what they've done in their program.
And I know that we've said it every week right here, but these guys have got to realize that, yes, tonight was what it was. They got to play 11 weeks of football, when if we would have sat down in July and talked, they may have never got to play this game. So they've got to see that it is a blessing, because this game does so much for men our age that I sat around and watched highlight tapes of mine today on YouTube, because it's playoff Friday night. And these guys, just hopefully they'll understand the blessing that they've had.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that, because I think we all realize we were just hoping to get the season started, hopefully get 2 or 3 games into the season before things shut us down. But our guys did everything they could to play. We never had to not play a game because of COVID. We did everything we can. So I'm so proud of them trying to be persistent in playing, and the perseverance they held through all this.
Coach, I can tell you that for Eric and Brett up top, from myself and Andrew down here on the field, these young men have earned our respect, and they've went out here and represented the community and Farragut High School with class and dignity, and done everything proud, and I know that they've made you proud as well.
They really have. They really have a special group, and when time's done, we'll find out some more things good for this group. I know they're going to be special in the future.
Coach Courtney, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I'm sending it back up to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Tyler, and thank you to Coach Eddie Courtney. And it's a season we'll remember because it's a special group of seniors, and we say that every year, and it's always true. But again, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better group than these guys. And we'll run them down here as the postgame show continues. But it's also a special year because of what Coach Courtney fought through. And for him to miss his first game on the sideline since going back, I guess it was like 2008, that he had to sit out a game, but missed 1 week, I guess, where he was not at the stadium following cancer surgery. Coach seems to be doing well. We certainly hope that is the case, and that he will continue to get stronger, and that all of those blood tests that you do, the follow-up tests that you do, that they will continue to be positive results, and that is yet another bout with cancer that he will be able to fully put behind him. But it'll be a memorable season because of that too, and the way that the school and the community rallied around Coach Eddie Courtney, who's just an institution here. And these guys, I tell you, again, tremendous senior class, and I don't know that you can sum it up any better than just taking a look at Eli Purcell's ankle tonight, and the way that it was taped up in order for him to play, folks, on a broken ankle. Broke his ankle 2 weeks ago against Hardin Valley, and he played tonight. And Nussbaum, in a situation where if he hits anybody or if his arm gets pulled down and back, it's just like fire in his shoulder, and he was out there as well. And then, like Coach said, and we said previously before Coach joined, Tyler, you just feel so for guys like Bridges Coffee and Grant Rice and Eli Harville, guys who were in contact tracing quarantine and had tests and were negative but could not get out there and play the last 2 weeks of their season. But as we've also said, as awful as that is, they had a season. And if you'd asked them in July what the prospects were for having a season and being able to play it in its entirety, nobody would have thought that the likelihood of that occurring was any better than a snowball's chance in Hades. So the Admirals got in 11 games. Unfortunately, tonight they fall in the first round of the playoffs to a good Bradley Central team that improves to 8-3 on the season. And so Farragut and Bradley these last 2 years have played to begin the season and then have played to begin the postseason. And Farragut had won, again, the previous 12 matchups between these programs, but Bradley tonight with a big victory, 17-14. So, again, congratulations to Coach Damon Floyd and his crew. Best wishes to them as they move forward. Let's get a 2-minute break. We'll return with more of our Pilot Rewards post-game show. On the other side, we'll get a look at the scoring plays, the team and individual stats, and we'll be selecting our Denton Financial Group players of the game. That's all ahead when the Farragut football post-game show continues here on Farragut's Independent Voice, 105.3 WFIV.
105.3 WFIV, Loudon, Farragut, Lenore City.
Shop Farragut wishes you and the entire Admiral Sports Nation much success and happiness this exciting season and reminds you to shop Farragut all year long. Your Farragut retailers, restaurants, and service providers have worked hard to make your shopping easy and a bargain. Follow Shop Farragut on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get all of the deals and discounts you need. Go Admirals!
The grocery store, work, taking the kids to school. Your family makes thousands of stops each year, and with each stop, you're counting on your tire's grip to stop you safely. So make Matlock Tire your next stop. Let their experts make sure you have the tires that are up to the task, like the new Michelin Premier All-Season Tire, which has excellent gripping power on wet roads, even when warm. So stop by Matlock Tire today and make every stop count.
Go with the extra mile, Matlock Tire.
In Farragut, Athens, and Hardin Valley.
Hi, this is Dave from VG's Bakery. Circumstances have forced us to change the way we do business, but nothing will change the pride and love we have for baking the finest baked goods. Go to vgsbakery.com to check out our curbside menu we offer Tuesday through Friday weekly. And our cake department is ready to create your beautiful and delicious special occasion cakes. Pastries, cookies, bread, and desserts, all made by hands that care. VG's Bakery. Handcrafted baked goods. Oh, yeah.
Hey, folks, Jordan's with Ted Russell Nissan. Here's the 3 questions customers are always asking.
What if I owe way more on my trade than it's worth?
No problem. At Ted Russell Nissan, when you make a deal with us, we'll pay your trade-in off no matter what you owe.
Can I buy with no money down?
Most Ted Russell Nissan customers can buy a new Nissan with no money down by using the factory rebate as a down payment.
Can I get finance with a low credit score?
Yes, at Ted Russell Nissan, we have 4 certified finance managers to get that new Nissan financed, even if you've had a divorce, bankruptcy, foreclosure, or repo, or just bad luck. So come see us today. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Every night is Friday night without you.
Welcome back into the Pilot Rewards post-game show from the press box atop Eddie Courtney Stadium. Down on Bill Claybo Field tonight, the Admirals see their season come to an end. 7-4 will be the final record for this group, but a great group of seniors and a season that we weren't really sure how much we'd get in. We got in a full season, and so those are some of the bright spots on a night where, of course, it's very disappointing to see it all come to an end. Farragut had its chances tonight. They saw Bradley on the opening drive moved the ball crisply downfield, and at that point I dare say Carter Nussbaum and Eli Purcell petitioned their way into the ball game, and as soon as they came in, they made back-to-back stops, and Bradley on downs as Farragut took over at the 24. Would not be able to string together first downs. They had 2 of them before Brady Hodges had a 42-yard punt. Brady did a nice job tonight punting the football, as he's done all season long, or really all career. But the Bears would get the ball back following that punt. The first score of the game would come as Burke, first off, ripped off a 76-yard gain down to the 5. Left the game. First down, the Bears picked up a couple of yards down to the 3. Second down, they were stuffed for no gain. Third down, Burke returns to the lineup and scores off the right side to give Bradley a 7-0 lead with 58 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Farragut would respond with a one-play possession, 65-yard touchdown pass to 7-11. Matt White, as Brett labeled him throughout the year, appropriately so. And Matt with the 65-yard touchdown, his 11th touchdown reception. Dawson Moore, his 26th touchdown pass. Reese Keeney came on, tacked on the extra point, tied the game at 7, but then limped off the field. I have no idea what happened to Reese. I'll have to go back and watch the film to see if he was hit or if maybe he was nursing some sort of like groin or hamstring injury or something like that he aggravated with the kick. But whatever the case, he was done for the night. Farragut had tied the game at 7 with 41 seconds to play in the first quarter. The only other scoring of the first half came with 29 seconds to go until halftime, a 33-yard field goal by Bradley's Grant Haney, and 10-7 was our halftime score. Farragut opens the second half, and always such a pivotal point in the game, and the Admirals came out and made a statement, drove 61 yards, scored on a 17-yard touchdown run by Shuman Shih. Simeon Sharp boots through the extra point, and Farragut leads 14-10 with 9:24 to play in the third quarter. The Admirals would later miss a 39-yard field goal, a chance to push the lead out to 7. There was a nice 41-yard punt by Brady Hodges, which Logan Foodie downed inside the 1 of the Bears. They would drive off their own goal line, but then it was Foodie with the interception, his 3rd of the year, as they tried a little trickery threw the lateral to a receiver who tried to fire deep down the middle of the field, left it well short of the mark, and Foodie was able to scramble and come back and make the pick. Unfortunately, Farragut could not capitalize on the momentum there, just as they failed to capitalize on the momentum relatively early in the second half when they had such great starting field position and ended up missing a field goal. So a couple of times there where you had swings or momentum was certainly building in your favor, and Farragut was unable to sustain it. Credit Bradley for that. Defensively, they were much better tonight than really I anticipated them being. I thought we might see a game in about the 28 to 30 point range that was necessary for the win, but again, low scoring affair with Bradley winning at 17-14. I'd gotten us to the 14-10 point. The final score of the night came with 5:29 to play as Bradley caps a 60-yard drive with a 7-yard keeper by quarterback Aiden McCleary, and Haney's extra point making it 17-14. Farragut would go over on downs, and then at the end of the ball game, they got the ball back. A nice job of using the timeouts, and Bradley helping them out as well by running out of bounds on one play. But the Admirals got the ball back, and it looked like they had just picked up a first down at about the 23-yard line with a little over a half minute to play. But on the tail end of the play, Matt White, fighting for that yardage that was necessary to convert the fourth down, dropped the football and knocked out, I believe, by perhaps Camden Creighton of Bradley. They recovered it and only had to take one knee to end the ball game. So both teams putting up a touchdown in the opening quarter. Bradley with the field goal late in the second quarter led 10-7 at halftime. Farragut led 14-10 heading to the fourth after scoring on the opening possession of the second half, a 17-yard touchdown run by Shuman Shih, and it's the Bears with the final touchdown of the night, the 7-yard keeper by Aiden McCleary, the quarterback, with 5:29 to play. Admirals had 2 possessions after that, but could not get on the scoreboard. Bradley with the 1 turnover. Again, that was Farragut's Logan Foodie with the interception. I believe it was Cannon Hall attempting the pass. And for Farragut, the 1 turnover came on the next to last play of the game as Matt White was stripped, and I did not get the number of the Bear that made the recovery. Bradley tonight with 15 first downs, Farragut with 12 first downs. The Bears were 2 of 11 on third down. Farragut was 4 of 13 on third down. Fourth down, Bradley was 1 of 3. Farragut was 0 of 3. I guess, let's see. Yeah, I guess that's right. Farragut, 4 penalties tonight for 30 yards. Bradley was flagged 1 time for 5 yards. Taking a look at the individual stats, first for Bradley, Javon Burke carried the ball 34 times tonight, picked up 223 yards, had 1 touchdown. C.J. Hardy, 1 carry, nothing. Aiden McClary, 6 carries, 20 yards, including the decisive touchdown. Jackson Wilson, 3 carries for 11 yards. Carter Clayton, 1 carry for 2 yards. And the team -5 on the final victory formation, take a knee at the end of the game. So 46 rushing attempts by Bradley, nets 251 yards. Through the air, Aiden McClary was 9 of 15 for, let's double check that. Yes, he was 9 of 15 for 104 yards. Meanwhile, again, I think it was Cannon Hall who attempted the wide receiver pass. He was 0 of 1, picked off by Logan Foodie. So 9 of 16, 104 yards passing for Bradley and the interception. Cannon Hall caught 2 balls for 20 yards. Javon Burke, 5 catches for 67. So that means with 223 yards rushing and 67 yards receiving, Javon Burke tonight accounted for 290 yards of offense. Jackson Wilson had 1 catch for 2 yards. Carter Howard, 1 reception for 15. It was a big one, a 3rd or 4th down conversion catch for Howard. So 104 through the air, 251 on the ground, and 355 yards of offense tonight for Bradley. The Bears had 223 at halftime. And so Farragut's defense did a better job in the second half, but still the Bears were able to get the clutch fourth-quarter touchdown that won it for them. For Farragut offensively, Dawson Moore had 5 carries for 23 yards. Dion Williams, 3 carries for 16 yards. Dion looked good running the ball tonight. Unfortunately, he took a blow to the knee, and I'm not sure if he returned. I think he was back out there for one more run and then went off gingerly following that one as well. But Matt White tonight, 2 carries, -2 yards. Sam Moses, 6 carries for 14 yards. Schumann Shih, 12 carries for 39 yards, including the 17-yard touchdown. So Farragut, 28 rushing attempts, 90 yards tonight. They had 26 rushing at halftime. Through the air, Moore, 11 of 24 for 173 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown was the 65-yarder to Matt White. White had 3 catches for 85 yards. Sam Moses, 1 catch for 9. Max DeVault, 1 for 11. Trace Corum, 3 for 57. Jake Wallace, 3 for 11. And so the Admirals with 173 through the air, 90 on the ground, 263 yards of offense, again compared to 355 for Bradley Central. So that's a look at all of the final numbers. We'll be selecting Denton Financial Group players of the game here shortly. I don't know how many, let's see, it's 9:40. How many games have gone final? We've got a pretty good scoreboard there, Brett. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, we got them all.
Let's go. Okay, let's go ahead then.
Not all final, but we got them all.
Okay, let's throw it over to Brett Clendenin for a look at scores from around East Tennessee.
Thank you, Eric. Dobbins-Bennett beats Cleveland tonight in a high-scoring game, 42-28. McMinn County takes care of Bearden tonight, 28-7. As we know, Maryville got the COVID win over Science Hill. Oakland beats Rossview, or up on Rossview, I should say, 21-0. Riverdale up on Wilson Central, 20-0. Mount Juliet leads Warren County 3-0. Hendersonville up on Blackman, 10-7. Franklin leads Smyrna, 28-13. Independence over Laverne, 35-7. Brentwood up on Cane Ridge, 28-6. David Crockett beats Sevier County tonight, 56-35. Tennessee High loses tonight to Halls, 22-15. South Doyle up on Daniel Boone, 45-12. Central over Morristown East, 48-7. West takes care of Lenore City, 65-20. Oak Ridge over Soddy Daisy tonight, 30-7. Walker Valley up on Powell, 21-16. Ray County over Fulton, 14-0. Elizabethton over Eastridge, 56-28. East Hamilton over Sullivan South, 56-20. Anderson County destroys Granger tonight 49-0. Claiborne loses to Pigeon Forge tonight 42-15. Kingston over Chucky Doak 43-42. Gatlinburg Pittman destroys Unicoi County 40-0. Alcoa over Johnson County 49-0. Red Bank over Grundy County 44-0. York Institute loses Big DeLoudon tonight 42-7. Smith County up on Brainerd 3-0 in the third. Signal Mountain up on Upperman 21-14 early in the fourth there. South Green on Cumberland Gap 35-0. Hampton over Oneida 28-14. Rockwood defeats Happy Valley tonight 36-7. Bledsoe County up on Cascade 48-7 in the third. Marion County Westmoreland start of the fourth knotted up at 14. Trousdale County 35-0 over Tyner. 49-14 Watertown over Tellico Plains. Cloudland leads Midway 38-33 in the fourth quarter. Greenback all over Unicoi County, Unica 63-16. Oliver Springs leads 60-22 over Jellicoe in the fourth. Coalfield beats Hancock County 48-6. South Pittsburgh over Joe Burns 55-0. Clay County over Copper Basin 21-0. Monterey leads Selkirk in the fourth 34-14. Gordonsville over Whitwell 49-0 in the fourth. In Division II, CAK defeats Boyd Buchanan tonight 38-12. Chattanooga Christian defeats Grace Christian tonight 56-35. And Goodpasture defeats Webb Spartans 21-14. Eric, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Brett. And Tyler, I believe, has been following along and kind of filling in the brackets and what all of those final scores, or at least scores that perhaps look like they're going to prove to be sort of decisive, too much to overcome.
I've got some bit of an idea.
Got a little bit of it. Give us what you got there,
Now,
Tyler.
if I'm correct, in the second round, the higher seeded team will host still, correct?
Yes.
So next week, Dobbins-Bennett will host McMinn County, which will be a very interesting matchup when you look at that running attack of McMinn County against that massive defensive front from Dobbins-Bennett. Bradley will travel to Maryville. I'm sure that Maryville's going to be rusty after a week off.
Yeah.
No? Okay. David Crockett will host South Doyle because I don't believe Daniel Boone's going to be able to close that gap with the time remaining in that game. Knox Halls will play at Knox Central. West Rebels will host Walker Valley. Oak Ridge will travel down to Ray County. There's some very interesting matchups there in the second round. I'm really like Oak Ridge.
Second round two.
Time of the year.
Round two, yep.
In 4A, Elizabethan will host East Hamilton, and Anderson County will travel to Greenville. That matchup that a lot of people always look forward to in the 4A playoffs. Is this the year that Anderson County gets over the Greenville?
Very real chance. Greenville's a little bit down. Anderson County's up, and they usually play in the third round, play in the second round this year.
Pigeon Forge will travel to Gatlinburg Pittman. Battle of Sevier County Schools. Pigeon Forge knocking off the number 1 seeded Claiborne County Bulldogs.
42-15.
Kingston will travel to Alcoa for, I believe, their rematch. And Loudon advances to face... Loudon will be on the road facing Upperman most likely or Signal Mountain. In 2A, South Green will host Rockwood. Hampton will travel to Meigs County. In 1A, Cloudland will host Oliver Springs next week as Greenback and Coalfield square off in round 2. A good classic rivalry there. And Clay County will be playing the winner of Whitwell-Gordonsville. Those are the scores that we have so far and what the bracket sort of looks like.
Yeah. Well, we'll follow it with interest just because high school football enthusiasts, but isn't quite the same when your team bows out. But tonight, the Admirals see their season come to an end. Again, you try to put a positive spin on it, and it's just the fact that there was a season at all. And but a great group of seniors that I think, as Coach mentioned to Tyler down on the field, that have really set the example for this younger class to follow. A tight-knit group. I remember at the beginning of the season, Coach Doucette telling me it's a goofy group. I really like them. They're a bunch of cut-ups. They really enjoy being around each other. Tyler, he's privy to some stuff down on the sidelines that we're not. But, I mean, it sounds like, you are down there and you picked up on the whole Fab Four thing, with the secondary, and it's a neat group of guys.
And that's something looking back on it, I wish I would have got to talk to Coach Courtney a little bit more about is I think that this senior class really did grow together. They grew up to be a very tight-knit thing, and if you look at it, they've always had each other's backs.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked when Trey went down.
Yeah.
How many of those guys were around him and uplifting him? I've seen Carter Sherman for a couple of years now really be a leader among this program starting since the sophomore year.
Yeah.
He really took a new role this year as sort of being that old head that could work with the offensive linemen and be an extension of Coach Doucette on the field. Eli Purcell and Matt White, what else can you say about those young men except for the fact that they left everything they had on the field tonight? Matt White in that last play fighting for everything he could.
Yep.
He made sure that he was going to get the first down
Right.
because when he first caught the ball, with that crew tonight,
He
especially
wasn't
hearing
sure.
some of the things you were
Yeah.
talking about, you had to go for it. He had to fight for another step. You could. Carter Nussbaum, can't say much more about him. Joe Main.
Yeah.
This is a group that they always are together. They're always got each other's backs, and that's what this sport's all about. And unless you get paid to play this sport, tonight that senior class took the next step to figure out what this makes this game the greatest game there is.
Yeah, and I know we kind of did it for COVID, but I enjoyed Tyler doing the interviews. I mean, I thought, I know they like to come up here some too, but I thought he did a great job with getting stuff out of them, and it's a pretty talented bunch. I mean, you know what I mean? It's disappointed. It's hard to get perspective right now. I know Eric's talked a ton about perspective, and we're so glad to get it in. It's hard to tell those kids that right now at this point. But looking back, you don't. The last thing you want is to have your senior season ended halfway through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my heart breaks for some of those seniors who couldn't play tonight because of the COVID situation. And it's just a tough situation all around. But it was, beat them 12 times in a row, and we've had a lot of tight ones against these guys, and you just worried eventually that you were going to get bit.
Odds get even.
But yeah, and it did happen tonight. And honestly, when that ball was thrown to Matt White on that fourth down play, with those two guys in the area, I thought there's no chance he can come down with that. I thought it was over right there. And for him to come up with that, it just shows you how great he is. Unbelievable. And that defensive play may have been the defensive play of the year on that, where he jumps. And it looked like he was jumping for an hour. I mean, it was – somebody texted me about the play like, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And it was like –
It was.
I mean, and I love Matt to death. But Eli on one ankle, when they said, when he heard he got hurt, they said, maybe second week of the playoffs, but he'll be struggling. And what does he do? He comes back a week early, and he plays through, and he actually plays maybe on 55%, but he plays pretty solidly. Not his best, but of course he can't play at his best. But unbelievable. Just it's a gutsy senior class and a gutsy team. And I think the seniors taught, like Eddie said, Coach Courtney said to you, I think they taught the younger guys a lot.
Yeah.
About and I think there's going to be more success going forward. But that senior class taught those young guys a lot.
To sort of piggyback on Coach Doucette saying that they're a bunch of cut-ups, our main man, Logan Foodie, came up to me at one point, I believe at halftime, and he goes, that line you dropped last week about me interviewing you in the end zone was classic. They're going back and listening to what we say about him, and he's coming at me with new material.
Well, certainly Foodie does. I don't know if everybody does or not, but Foodie wants to.
I bet most of them watch.
Logan wants to have a future in this business, and let me tell you, he's going to have one if he pursues it the way that if he applies himself the way these guys applied themselves on the football field. If he wants to work for ESPN or whoever it is, and if he wants to do something with us up here in the years to come, all he's got to do is let us know. We'll find something for Logan Foodie to do, because that guy's a natural. Turn the camera on, hand him a mic, and just walk away, right?
I could always use more security.
Yeah.
I can always use more security.
And he had an interception. I give him credit. Oh, yeah. He played great as a junior. He played great this year. Had a couple late interceptions in the year. So they're going to miss a lot of the secondary. We're replacing a whole heck of a lot of the secondary.
Yeah. Well, guys, we do this as far as our Denton Financial Group player of the game. You can't predict, but you can prepare. Let Clark Denton or any team member of Denton Financial show you how to plan for your retirement needs. Just Google Denton Financial Group to get started. And so what we typically do when the season comes to an end is recognize the seniors with our Denton Financial Group players of the game. And so that list of guys, unfortunately tonight, Grant Rice was one of them that was held out because of contact tracing. He missed last week at Jefferson County as well. But free safety, a guy that was injured last year early in the season and fought back from that injury and was a huge contributor for this team this year. You got Camden Kuhn. Man, what a player Camden Kuhn was. And he many times he turned Burke back into the inside for the set the defensive edge for other people to be able to make the play. And, Burke was just slippery. Sometimes they made the play. Sometimes he was able to churn out some yardage on his own. But Kuhn played an outstanding game just as he has all season long. Bridges Coffey wears number 3 for the Admirals. He was the, I guess they were calling that weak safety position. And I guess the team name, you might say, for that was the Bandit. And the position that Camden plays that you might think of as the traditional strong safety was the Admiral. But Bridges, like Grant, in the secondary back there, a senior who was unable to play the last couple of weeks because of contact tracing. Alex Taylor at wideout, another contact tracing casualty. But Alex really came on this season. He became, early in the year, the kind of go-to possession receiver when you needed a first down. And he kind of expanded beyond that as the season went on. Caught 3 touchdowns, 20 receptions total, but a nice season from Alex Taylor. Max DeVault, another one of those senior receivers who stepped into that role this year and played well for the Admirals. Eli Purcell, I don't know what else you can say. I mean, to me, this senior class, if you want to summarize them with one picture, it's Eli Purcell's ankle tonight. And the way that it was all taped up and just looked like, I don't know, Frankenstein's ankle.
And going back to what Coach Courtney said, a young man that, due to COVID, possibly lost out on a much higher look at college prospects because
somebody's going to get him a player. And
someone's going to get them someone that when he steps on the field, he steps on campus, he's going to represent your university with outstanding merit, and he's going to be a baller on Saturday.
And you said Furman?
Yeah, that's what Jeff told me last night.
Well,
good. And I think that's at minimum of his level because he's already 6'2", 235, got a motor for days.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he could probably play, honestly, better than that, but COVID may have something to do with that.
I've heard rumors that he's been offered by Army, possibly. So, I mean,
be a great fit.
Great fit for that young man.
Yeah, I can see that. Deion Williams, that's a young man who battled through numerous injuries throughout his high school career. Tonight, he got dinged up, but ran hard tonight, and I think he was Farragut's leader in terms of rushing touchdowns this season. So nice to see Deion be able to get on the field and stay healthy this year and really contribute the way that he did. Jake Wallace came out late. I wish they'd had Jake for a couple more years, but a basketball player that was convinced by some of his classmates to come out and play football and really grew into that role, that tight end role as the season went on. Caught a touchdown pass last week against Jefferson County. Had a big touchdown pass in the Battle of West Knoxville against Bearden.
Yep.
And Logan Foodie, as we go down the list numerically, number 19. Logan with 3 interceptions, including 1 tonight. Had the pick 6 last week. And, again, one of the all-time great interviews. We've had some good ones over the years. There were a bunch of great ones on this team. I mean, all these guys that I'm mentioning, we've talked to almost all of them over the course of this season and many of them in previous seasons. And, again, they're always obviously so intelligent, well-spoken, thoughtful about their responses, and just polite. I mean, you just always represent their family, their school, their community with the utmost class. And, again, Foodie, I will long remember that young man as being one of the easiest interviews of all time. He is the dream for a broadcaster to just be able to throw him anything, and he's just off and running with it. Matt White, what can you say about Matt White? I mean, again, he fumbled on the final play, but in a lot of ways the effort that was exhibited on the final play is, again, sort of a hallmark of this team, as was, as Brett said, that tremendous defensive play at the goal line, knocking a pass away in the first half. But always open, Matt White. 11 touchdown receptions this season, and that's got to be pretty high. I don't have the record book right in front of me right now, but that's got to be pretty darn high as far as single-season touchdown receptions in Farragut football history.
Brett, my mom said that your official Matt White fan club membership card is in the mail. You should be getting it in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Just letting you know that.
He doesn't play favorites.
He doesn't, but
that doesn't sound right.
It's fine.
I need more than one card. I got 2 or 3 things.
Brock Hodges, that's a young man who his number was called with Carter Nussbaum and Eli Purcell being out the last couple of weeks, and he stepped in and did a great job. Brock, it was a standout on special teams all season long with the coverage units in particular, kickoff coverage teams. He made a lot of tackles in that situation. But he had 7 hits last week against Jefferson County. Brock Hodges, another one of those seniors. Eddie Kim, we saw him in reserve duty at cornerback off and on this season. Nick Milstead, tight end. He would usually be in there in blocking situations. Jake Wallace was dinged up there for a few weeks. He got hurt in the West game, and so Farragut was using Ashton Adderman and Nick Milstead at tight end, and Milstead got the majority of the snaps, I think, because they felt like he was maybe a little bit more mature blocking tight end. And so Nick is another guy who contributed on special teams, but certainly we saw him at significant times during the season, play significant minutes at times during the season. Trey Nesbitt, gosh, your heart breaks for that kid too. Injured as the first half was winding down at Bearden, terrible lower leg injury, and just hope that Trey recovers fully and that he gets the looks that he deserves, both because of COVID, but also, too, guys, sometimes people are a little bit leery when you have an injury that's as catastrophic as that one was.
He's a playmaker.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Trey Nesbitt, you look back at what he did against Bradley in the season opener. He forced a fumble and recovered it of Javen Burke. A huge play, one of the biggest plays of the game, and, you're playing without him the last few games of the year, and everybody, it's one of those that Trey is such a playmaker, and nobody's going to step in and fill his shoes, and so everybody had to step it up. And did the best they could, and certainly, some guys who were going to be playing a lot of minutes in the years ahead got some extra playing time this year because Nesbitt went out. Next man up, you got to do that. But Trey's absence was noticeable. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Andrew Doan, young man who's played well at inside linebacker, and this year he switched to defensive line. A little bit undersized for a defensive lineman, but he's kind of got that bulldog tenacity about him, low center of gravity, and Doan got out there and battled at defensive tackle, an undersized defensive tackle. Carter Nussbaum's had the shoulder injury, tried to fight through that, and certainly did tonight. I think he dinged up an ankle tonight, but Carter, he's coming back from a really bad leg break last year. I guess that was the Oak Ridge game, so that was like second or third game of the year. And for him to come back and be the kind of player he was, there for a while, he and Eli were neck and neck as far as all of the defensive leader numbers on this team. But Nussbaum with a really strong senior season, coming back off an injury and playing through an injury this year. And then you got Joe Main. That's another guy who played through an injury. I got a feeling, initially when he got hurt at Science Hill, I was told in the wake of that game that both Nussbaum and Main would require surgeries at the end of the season. I don't, sometimes that's an evolving situation, and so I don't know if that continues to be the case or not. I hope not for his sake, but you kind of forget a little bit the severity of the injury. Once Joe's back out there after a couple of weeks, and so all of these guys were wanting to get back out on the field, and Joe came back and probably playing at best at like 80%. He was in the offensive backfield a lot tonight. He and Corey Walker really were disruptive, I thought, in the middle. Unfortunately, they were able to bounce stuff to the outside, and oftentimes those guys were kind of held and prevented from finishing plays. But Joe Main, outstanding defensive tackle, and he's another one that certainly leaps out to me as a guy who was just a great interview, too. Great young man. Eli Harville, he's another one, unfortunately a COVID casualty, your starting center, and so he didn't get to finish on the field the last couple of weeks, and you hate that for Eli. And so he had, I guess he had started last year, I believe, at guard, and moved him over to center. And so Eli with a really good high school football career, solid offensive lineman, and he too was a good interview. Of course, Tyler's doing all the interviews this year, and it's really easy for him to talk to the offensive lineman. But seriously, those guys always, it seems like, are such a heady bunch, and you have to be that way if they trust you at the center position. And so Harville Senior, Kanan Jackson, the long snapper, we bragged on him a little bit tonight. Too oftentimes you don't mention the long snapper till one goes awry, but man, Kanan is on the money with all of them. And I thought I had